All right. We're here, y'all. We're here. Oh, he's giving me a message here on StreamYard. They're giving me a message on StreamYard here. Uh-oh. I got something else going on. Here. Yeah, let's turn that down. Okay. All right, everybody. Good Sunday morning or good Sunday afternoon, depending on your time zone. For me, it's 11:45 a.m. Brother Jarvis sent me a text message saying that, he will not be able to attend today's meeting. And so I appreciate that. So, yeah. So it's going to be us rolling through it today. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope everybody's doing all right. Sister G, I got your message this morning. Tell Brother D I said what's up. Absolutely did try. Yes, Sister G, I appreciate you. And all the hardcores, people hard driving soldiers kind of trickling in. Yeah. So anyway, y'all seen what the topic is going to be for today. I'm gonna surprise you though, and I'm gonna approach it another kind of way. So, but anyway, so I'm here. We had a busy week. I was on the Kings, and then I did my own thing, and then yesterday I did a live stream, and I was looking for Chicago Rilla to come on and not to bash the dude or jump on him or nothing like that, just to talk it out, man. Just try to talk it out, see if we can, make sure this thing stays on the internet. That's my personal opinion, my desire. Just the righteous competition, that's cool, but let it stay on the internet. When people's families get involved and stuff like that, that's crazy. So we don't want that. We don't want nobody to get hurt, and so that's where I was trying to step in. I'm from Los Angeles, and like I said, things can go left quick out here. Quick. I've seen so many things go left in just an instant. You know what I mean? So, I'm trying to stop it before it gets that crazy. Anyway, glad to see y'all, man. Glad to see y'all in the building. And so let's get on because we got a lot to cover today. So let's get on with the with our the way we do things around here. Coming up, we got the news, we got the hit parade, we got, of course, the Black History Minute, and then we got Your Money, the job of the week. We always try to put out a job of the week so that the people who are, so some of our young people, man, can have a job to inspire, not just a regular job, but a job they can inspire for. They may have to study for it, but they have a job they can aspire to. All right, y'all, in the news. Football player allegedly killed man who pretended to be woman on Tinder. Y'all remember that story? College athlete, player that killed a man. Well, if you don't know the story, what happened was a college football player, maybe about 2 months ago, college football player, black dude, was on Tinder and all these other little dating sites. He met this little white girl, and they hooked up. And in the course of the white girl giving him some special attention, oral special attention, obviously the dude wanted to go further. And so when he went to inspect, excuse me, when he went to inspect the little girl, not little girl, but the female, when he went to inspect the female, he found out that the female was not a female, but was a male, and ultimately killed him. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm not saying nothing like that. But what I'm saying is it's a dangerous game to play when you're a female or you're a male and you present yourself as a female to a male that's looking for a natural female. Okay, that's a dangerous game to play, and so I wouldn't. If I was, any of those LGBT guys, don't do that, in my opinion, because it's not worth the risk that you're taking. You know what I mean? You may be attracted to natural men, but natural men ain't attracted to you the way you're set up. If my advice is to go places where, like in the old days, when I was coming up, people like that, they congregated in certain places. So everybody knew what was up. It was all good. Everybody was cool with the program. Now what they try to do is cross lines. And they say, even though I'm not a natural female, I want to be around natural males. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna fly, man. And unfortunately, the sister found out the hard way. I already do found out the hard way when losing his life. Peace and blessings, Brother D. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Got to put a class together, Brother D. Me and you, we slipping, man. You got to put another class together so you can teach something else, brother. I'm gonna stay on you for that. I see how I got caught up. I got caught up in these beefs this week, brother, trying to squash that stuff. So I didn't even have a chance to really stay on top of that, Brother D. But you got to put another class together. If you guys don't know, Brother Daniel Madden already put a class together for how to get unsecured lines of business credit. Go look up that video that I have. It's on my playlist. Go look that up. Excellent video. If you're trying to start a business, excellent video. But let me finish this article here. A suspended Division I college football player was indicted on second-degree murder charge Tuesday for allegedly killing a man he mistook for a woman after meeting for sex. Of course he mistook her. She was dressed like a woman. It's like a lot of these guys get caught in the hit parade where they start messing with these young girls. They dress like women. Of course you're gonna mistake them. Then your horniness takes over. You ain't asking no questions, right? Virginia Tech linebacker Simon Atut, 18 years old, life over. 18 years old. 18 will be tried in Montgomery. I hope he has a good lawyer in the Montgomery court. Not that he should get off for killing a guy, but he should at least not do life, bro. Not do life. I mean, it was a crime of passion, in my opinion. He would have never killed the guy if the guy would have never presented himself as other than what he was. Anyway, Virginia Tech lineman is still 18 years old. We tried in County Circuit Court after a grand jury returned a true bill regarding the case. A report said the Virginia Tech freshman, oh my God, and was initially arrested in May for the killing of 40-year-old Jerry Smith, according to court documents. This is Jerry Smith is the white boy that pretended to be he was a white girl. Anyway, Atut met Smith through the dating app Tinder. Is somebody going to Tinder? I think the family of the white guy probably would. I don't know, but they look like they on the hook too. They got together on April 10th and engaged in oral sex, attorney said. Atut believed he had met with a woman because Smith represented himself as a woman called Angie on Tinder, according to a statement. See, it's a dangerous world out there, man. Y'all got to really pay attention to what's going on out there. A month after the encounter, Atut went to Smith's Blackbird home to determine if he had engaged sexually with a man or a woman, attorneys and witnesses said. On May 31st, the football player groped Smith to ascertain his gender and used the flashlight on his phone to get a look at the middle-aged restaurant project manager, a detective testified. After this, Atut allegedly began beating Smith and purportedly told authorities that he heard a bubbling and gurgling noise when he exited the apartment, the report said. Atut is scheduled for a November 18 hearing for attorneys to develop a timeline for the case, according to the report. Okay. Now I'm going to tell y'all this. Okay, I got you, Brother D. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to tell y'all this. What do y'all think? Did this dude, 18-year-old kid, you know what I mean? He just wanted to have sex. He wasn't too interested in, he just assumed that he was dealing with a female. Come to find out, he wasn't dealing with a female. And that, of course, enraged him. And, of course, he lost his mind. He lost his mind. And he snapped and killed the guy. He killed the person perpetrating themselves as a female. Is it right? No, it's not right. But you can understand how upset he probably was knowing that he had been put in that situation. You could probably understand that. That's why I hope they don't get a guy life in prison for that. I hope not. But like they say, there's a statistic. 80% of people on death row are on death row for killing somebody white, even other white guys. 80% of the people on death row are on death row for killing somebody white. So hopefully they take into consideration the circumstances of what happened to this young man, because this is a sad situation. But it just go to show, y'all got to be careful out there, man, especially you younger guys. You got to be careful out there. Y'all here dating these women, and you think you dating a woman, and then you come to find out you dating who you dating. That's why that's why the courtship process is the way it is. That's why the courtship process is the way you're supposed to go through a courting process so you can meet the family, because the family's going to tell you, especially the mother. The mother's going to make sure that you know that this is not a natural female that you're dealing with. The mother's going to let you know that. Especially a black mother's going to say, hey, let me let you know this before this thing get too far, right? But see, that's what the courting process is for. But see, we abandoned the courting process. We do things like American people do it, and I just date whoever I want to date, and I don't have my family involved in the vetting process at all. Okay, you're going to get a bunch of mixed nuts then. Every once in a while, you might find somebody that makes some sense, but most of the time, you're going to get a bunch of mixed nuts. It's a sad situation. K Business Podcast. Glad to have you in the building. When I worked at DSS, I had foster care children on my caseload. Some of these young ladies got pregnant by age 15. Holy smokes. That was one of the issues. We're going to discuss that later. K Business, hang around, stick around. We're going to talk about that when we get to the lead topic. Okay? So I do want you to, since you got experience in this matter, I would like you to hang around and actually put some of that information out there, because we're going to get there. That's the lead topic. Okay, now we're going to move on, y'all, to the hit parade. Let's see. The hit parade. A Northern California man exposed himself and inappropriately touched another passenger while flying to Colorado this week, authorities said. Okay, so you guys get on these airplanes, you got to watch yourself, watch your children. Sam, you don't know who you sit next to or what's going on with these people, man. Some of these people that, they ain't wrapped too tight. Robert Earl Glassberg III, 26, was arrested after his flight from Sacramento touched down at Denver International Airport on Monday at about 8:45 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. FBI Special Agent Brandon Barnes wrote in an affidavit supporting the Oakland man's arrest. As Glassberg and the male passenger seated next to him put on their seatbelts, the defendant allegedly reached out his hand and grasped the left side of the victim's buttocks, giving it a squeeze, Barnes wrote. See, I told y'all, way of doing stuff is over, man. You can't just touch no woman and she's going to slap you in the face and walk away. Now you're going to the pokey, man. You're going to get arrested. So the old way of doing stuff is over. Glassberg kept touching his seat neighbor's hands and legs, and also repeatedly asked the victim to pleasure him, the affidavit revealed. The suspect went into the restroom before returning to his seat, exposing himself. Oh, man, this is... the FBI said. At this point, the victim noticed that Glasper appeared to have an erection. Oh, man. Special Agent Barnes wrote, Glasper began pleasuring himself and exposing himself to the victim, saying to the victim, look at this. Yo, man, some people are really out of their minds out there. That's why you gotta keep your eyes on your children, keep your eyes on yourself, keep your eyes open. You're on a bus, you're on a plane, any place where there's mass transit, you gotta watch yourself. You gotta watch what's going on all around you. Because these people is everywhere, man. At least one fellow traveled to see that across the aisle from the two men allegedly saw Glasper pleasuring himself and wiped his hands on the seat. Yikes. Responded, I don't think so, according to the affidavit. Glasper told police the incident was consensual. Consensual. How is pleasuring yourself consensual? But otherwise struggled to speak, the FBI said. During this interview, the Denver police and the FBI, Glasper stared for a long period of time without answering the question. His words were difficult to understand. The defendant said he was going to visit his grandfather near Dallas, but could not remember the grandfather's phone number and was unable to log into his cellular phone to retrieve the number. Glasper has been charged with sexual conduct without permission while on an airplane. Yikes. Committing lewd and obscene acts on a flight. Yikes. And simple assault on an aircraft. Yikes. This dude, goodbye. You're gone. His defense attorney could not be immediately reached for a comment on Friday. Yeah, good night. You're gone, dude. You're gone. That's that's it, man. It's over for you. Like I said, man, you know what? With all due respect, you know what I mean? People make mistakes, but when it's ugly like that, it's crazy. It's just crazy. JP, peace and blessings, Brother Clarence, soldiers, and the chat. How's your spirit? My spirit is good, JP. I'm trying to keep it going. I gotta get rid of this nose cold. It's finally running down, but get rid of this nose cold. You guys can actually hear what my voice really sounds like without all these colds. Anyway, but good to have you in the building, JP. Let's see. Yeah, you know, but as far as the hit parade, man, y'all don't be out there acting stupid no more, man. I mean, especially you men. With women too, but women ain't usually the type that's gonna risk their whole future on a sexual escapade. It's usually a man that's gonna do something stupid like that. And I kept trying to tell y'all, the old days is over, man, where people would, you know, say, I don't want to press no charges. Nah, that day is over, man. You gonna do something really that stupid, man, where you disrespecting a whole airplane, they're going to run up in you. And that's Fed time. This dude is looking at Fed time. Just an ugly situation, man. So we gotta always keep our heads, you know, no matter what state you're in, keep your head. All right, moving on. Let's get to the Black History Minute, if y'all don't mind. Do you know, you guys out there, do you know how there was a couple of different inventions that made America as wealthy as it is, where actually made slaves much more efficient, much more efficient. Do you know there's a couple of different inventions? Well, today we're going to talk about Mr. Eli Whitney, and he invented something that made slavery, it turbocharged slavery. It made slavery immensely more profitable. Slavery was already profitable, but this man invented something that made slavery immensely more profitable. Let me get to this comment real quick. Friendsgiving, where you been, girl? Good afternoon, bro, Clarence, and the chat. Yeah, where you been? I've been missing you. You know what I'm saying? I know there's other people, other podcasters out there, but got to come by, give us a drive-by like. Give me a drive-by like. Man, but good to have you in the building, Friendsgiving. Good to have you in the building. Let me see. Get back to. Oh yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Eli Whitney. We're talking about the Black History Minute, Mr. Eli Whitney. Well, Mr. Eli Whitney, a black man, invented what is called the cotton gin. You guys ever heard of the cotton gin? Yes, some of you have, most of you probably have if you're around my age group, but a lot of you younger people haven't. So the cotton gin, so let me explain it for people that's going to watch this on the replay. The cotton gin is a machine. See, what slaves used to have to do, and it was very inefficient, to make cotton worth it was to take the seeds out of the cotton. When they pick the cotton, it has seeds in it. They got to take the seeds out and put the cotton in one bag and put the seeds in another bag, right? The cotton gin could do the work of like, man, I don't know, 10 or 15 slaves separating those seeds from the cotton, and it was much more efficient. That meant you could get more product out. That means you could make more money. So that's how, and once the cotton gin got all over the South, slavery, it turbocharged slavery. Slaves were profitable before that, but that made slavery just immensely more profitable. And it really put the South, man, in a whole nother financial situation. A whole nother financial situation. Anyway, let me read something about Brother Eli Whitney. In 1794, U.S.-born inventor Eli Whitney patented the cotton gin, a machine that revolutionized the production of cotton by greatly speeding up the process of removing seeds from the cotton fiber. By the mid-19th century, cotton had become America's leading export. Despite its success, the gin made little money for Whitney due to patent infringement issues. Also, his invention offered Southern planters a justification to maintain and expand slavery, even as a growing number of Americans supported its abolition. Based in part on his reputation for creating the cotton gin, Whitney later secured a major contract to build muskets for the U.S. government. I didn't know that. Through this project, he promoted the idea of interchangeable parts. I guess the interchangeable parts for guns, standardized, identical parts that made it faster for the assembly and easier repair of various devices. For his work, he is credited as a pioneer of American manufacturing, right? So the cotton gin, man, that's, you want to know what really made the Civil War happen? It was the cotton gin. The cotton gin. The South was making so much money off cotton. They were able to arm themselves. They was trying to break away from the North. They were trying to break away. They was making so much money. It was making so much money that they had to do something. They had to do something, and it culminated in the American Civil War. It culminated in the American Civil War, just like Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein was trying to break away from OPEC, and the American government said, no, that's not going to happen. You're not going to take nobody out of here. We're not doing that. We're already having a tough time dealing with OPEC, and now we're going to have to. You guys going to try to set something else up? And anything I say, go look it up. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. Just go look it up. Let's see. Let's go to some comments. Okay, this is all in-house stuff. Okay, back to the drawing board. Anyway, so Eli Whitney was born on December 8, 1765 in Westboro, Massachusetts. Growing up, Whitney, whose father was a farmer, proved to be a talented mechanic and inventor. Among the objects he designed and built as a youth were a nail forge and a violin. In 1792, after graduating from Yale College, now Yale University, Whitney headed to the South. He originally planned to work as a private tutor, but instead accepted an invitation to stay with Catherine Greene, the widow of American Revolutionary War General Nathaniel Greene, on her plantation known as Mulberry Grove near Savannah, Georgia. While there, Whitney learned about cotton production and, in particular, The difficulty cotton farmers faced making a living. See, how much do you know about people doing all kind of different things? Your people are doing all kind of different things, and I'm not gonna go into everything that the man did, but he definitely did a lot. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. Go check out Eli Whitney, brother Eli Whitney, and his contribution to us, to America. He actually contributed to America. The cotton gin is the reason why it's actually behind the Civil War. How was the South able to arm themselves? How were they able to buy weapons and buy different things? Because of the money they were making off the cotton gin. They were making money off the cotton gin. The North had to tax their people. The South didn't have to tax nobody because they had all that free labor. They could just take buckets of money to different places to get guns, weapons, or whatever, right? If left alone long enough, they would have built up a Navy, they would have built up an Air Force, they would have built up it would have been two Americas, right? But the official government of the United States saw that coming, and they decided to jump in there before they could get that high. That's why. So y'all think, well, Abraham Lincoln, he liked us. He didn't like slavery, so that's why he ended it. No. Abraham Lincoln, that was just a tactical move to destroy the income of the South. If you got all this free labor, and then you take it away from the person that got it, of course it's gonna crush them financially, because they want everybody to depend on the central banking system of America. And so the South was going to make their own money, back it with other stuff. They were going to back it with other securities. They had a whole different thing going on, and they was getting ready to get it all off. If the U.S. government hadn't jumped in there, they would have got all that off. Just like they did with Gaddafi. Gaddafi was going to make a whole nother currency. He was telling everybody at OPEC, don't go off the dollar. Don't take no more dollars. They're not backed by nothing. But the American government said, no, we're not going to let that happen. So they put a campaign together to get rid of Colonel Gaddafi. And I'm not saying he was no saint, but I'm just saying they definitely got rid of him. But it wasn't because he was killing his people. Because if they really was concerned about his people, they would have jumped in a long time ago. But they didn't, right? All of a sudden now, he's killing his people. Please. If you really felt that way, you would have jumped in 20, 30 years ago, right? When he took over, right? But obviously something had to spark their interest, and now all of a sudden they're concerned about the people of Libya, right? Anyway, that's the Black History Minute. Don't just take my word for it. Dig that. Go check it out for yourself. Now we got your money. We almost there, y'all. We almost there. Now we got your money. The job of the week. Job of the week. What's the job of the week? Let's see. STEM job of the week is biomedical engineer. What's a biomedical engineer? Biomedical engineering is a profession that researches and develops solutions for biological and medical problems. Biomedical engineers use curiosity, research, and engineering principles to design medical equipment to help others. Through a serendipitous series of events, hold on. I've always been curious about the world around me. Erin Livick says science was natural outgrowth of this curiosity, but her interest in biomedical engineering didn't come into a quarter life crisis halfway through graduate school at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, as she was studying the electrical properties of nanocrystalline oxides. She came to the devastating conclusion that the work didn't have much of an impact outside of science. They were going to do science that mattered. Through a serendipitous series of events, she ended up having a midnight phone conversation with MIT professor Martha Gray. At the end of that hour-long chat, Levick was convinced she should pursue biomedical engineering. During her time at MIT, Levick designed implants aimed at repairing the spinal cord. The hope is that one day those insights may lead to treatments. Since then, she's worked as an associate professor at Yale University at Case Western Reserve University, which is where she is now. She oversees a team of biomedical engineering students who research nanoparticles that could stop internal bleeding, among other biomedical research areas. I wonder what's the among other biomedical research areas. Wonder what those are. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects 4.7% employment growth for biomedical engineers between 2019 and 2029. In that period, estimated 1,000 jobs should open up. Right? All right. Let's get to the nitty gritty. How much does a biomedical engineer make? Biomedical engineers make a median salary of $91,410 in 2019. The best paid 25% made $118,020 that year, while the lowest paid 25% made $70,990 that year. How to become a biomedical engineer? Those looking to go into the biomedical engineering have to have at least a bachelor's degree from a biomedical engineering program. Alternatively, these professionals can earn an undergraduate degree in a different type of engineering and either complete a graduate degree in biomedical engineering or receive on-the-job training in biomedical engineering. However, PhD programs and postdoctoral appointments are also helpful in landing good positions. If you earned a an undergraduate, graduate, and doctorate degree from MIT in materials science and engineering, and the additional schooling has served her career well. Co-ops in engineering and internships in the industry and research experiences in labs at the undergraduate level make a huge difference in both understanding the work and in finding jobs and deciding on whether to pursue graduate work like success. So, let's go tell our young people, man, you ain't got to be a rapper. You ain't got to be a clown. You ain't got to be a rapper. You ain't got to sell drugs. You know, you got to just put your time in on whatever you do. There's other jobs out there, and it's the STEM program. That's the future, the STEM program. He who accepts that will have their future laid out for them. But if we got to get our young people to understand they ain't no liberal arts, no African American studies, no. Those are degrees that are not going to be able to sustain a whole household. It's just not going to do it. You got to be willing and ready to fight for a STEM degree. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And the C stands for communications. If you can communicate well and articulate yourself well, you'll be able to make a ton of money as well. Okay? So the new global economy will not accept racism. Well, I can't get a job in this field because I'm written. No. The global economy, whatever, if you can do right now, I'm in Los Angeles, right out there in Long Beach, right out there in Wilmington. There's 100 some ships out there waiting to be with thousands of containers waiting to be offloaded into the harbor out there. You think they care whose color is who is what? They want that stuff off them boats. They want to put on a truck and they want to take them to a distribution center and sent out to wherever it's supposed to go. They don't care what your color your eyes are. They don't care what color your skin is. They don't care what color your hair is. Those people want to make money. As long as they put money in their bank account, they don't care. So come on, man. The global economy, for those who got their eyes open, there is no, you ain't got to be scared to do nothing no more. You just got to figure out what type of work you're gonna feel comfortable doing for a while, and get out there and do it. Get out there, study, get your degree, and do it, or get under a master and let a master teach you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the money to go to college. Go intern with a master. Let a master teach you, right? Like that dude that did, like that brother, I forgot the brother's name that did the first open heart surgery. That brother didn't have no college training. He went in and did an open heart surgery. Why? Because he studied under a master. He studied under a master teacher that taught him all about the heart and how it works and how to put one in and take one out and put it back. And he studied all of that. Anyway, all right, y'all. Now we down to the nitty gritty. Now we down to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Okay. Check this out. Why in the Black community do we have so many single moms? And how can we fix it? Well, Brother Clarence, why do we need to fix the single mom situation? It's great for me. I'm a young man, and I can go with impunity, grabbing the low hanging fruit, which is the single mothers out here, because they proven they being sexual, because they got evidence of their sexuality, and then I'm able to leverage their loneliness into sexual encounters, right? So, Brother Clan, what you doing, man? You ruining my situation. Well, maybe indirectly. It's not directly I'm trying to ruin the situation for you in particular, but I'm trying to ruin the situation where we got these children and they looking for fathers, and there's no fathers there. And the fathers are not there because women and men are not learning how to hang into relationships. We don't know what relationships are about. See, most people think relationships mean, oh, just when things are good. When things are bad, now we don't have no relationship no more. No, you still got a relationship. You just got a challenge in it. Then you got to figure out how you're going to meet that challenge and overcome it together. Just because something bad happens, that's what marriage vows are for. For those of you that get married, marriage vows are not for when times are good. Marriage vows are when times are bad. That's when you got to lean on the marriage vows, man. You know what I'm saying? But most people, they say, hey, if it's bad, that means they mistakenly think if there's a challenge in the relationship, then it's not supposed to be here. Some things, yes, violence, that's never something that you should negotiate with. Violence, abuse, those are things you should never go negotiate with. So we're not talking about the extreme situation of violence and abuse. I'm talking about a challenge, maybe some infidelity, maybe some money problems, maybe some sickness, different things that can be worked out if both people are willing to work it out. So how come we have so many single mothers? Is it the women? Are the women impregnating themselves? Are the women some kind of way? I was listening to something on the radio today, and they were talking about how they were impregnating, they were making the California condors have babies without men, without directly with the men there. And I was like, yeah, it was sounding good, everything, right? Yeah, we doing no men. So I was like, it sounded good until all of a sudden they said, yeah, but we can't make one of those babies live. They end up usually dying. And like, of course, they don't have all the chromosomes. Of course they're gonna die. I mean, it made sense to me. But anyway, that's what the situation is at that point. Sister G, that's also in the vows, good, bad, or better for worse. I know, but Sister G, we got a whole new like millennials, they don't want that stuff in their vows. They want their vows to say, only in the good. No bad, no worse, no better, no worse. They just want good and better. No bad and worse, right? And that's all they want. That's all they want. And unfortunately, it makes it a bad situation because if you live with somebody 20 years, you're gonna go through stuff, man. People gonna die. You're gonna go through some funerals together. You're gonna, have some challenges financially together. I mean, it is what it is, right? But the new millennials don't want that stuff, and they don't want to have to be held to that standard. They're gonna say, "Hey, I'm only here for the good times," right? But that's crazy. What if, for those of us that believe in God, what if God was only here with us for the good times, and on the bad times we had to walk by ourselves? I mean, I was a walking fool. I was a walking fool. I was a walking fool. I was. I was a functioning fool. God hadn't smiled on me and touched me one day, brother. I would be gone. I mean, I wouldn't even be here. But he didn't do it for me because he thinks so much of me. He thought enough of you to take me and say, I can use this guy who is halfway gone and he can show my power to them. And then they can look at him and say, if God could take a messed up individual like him and straighten him halfway out, what could he do for me? Right? Sister Natalie, lacking of vetting, lack of guidance, and not understanding that there should be two parents to rear the children. In addition to this being what was modeled growing up. Yeah, absolutely, Sister Natalie. I think uh, a lot of, but a lot of the women, they haven't seen a two parent household. A lot of the sisters haven't seen what it looks like to compromise. See, when you in a marriage, and Sister G could tell you this, when you in a marriage, man, there's compromises that you have to make. Even though you might be, and Brother Daniel will tell you too, is you're gonna have to compromise sometime. Even though you feel one way and you want to stand 10 toes down, is it better? I always use the example of my wife. She will ask me to stop at the store every now and then when I get off of work. But she know I don't like to do that. I don't like to be in stores, especially since the COVID situation. I really keep my circle small. I don't be out and about, because of this COVID thing. But she'll say, "Hey, can you go to the store? I forgot. I was at the store earlier. I forgot XYZ." Right? So in that situation, in the XYZ, in that situation, what can I do? I'm either I'll what's my option? Either I go to the store, I get what she need, or I send her back out at nighttime. That is a high security risk, in my opinion. That is a very high security risk. Why should I do that when that's unnecessary? I can just go ahead and compromise and just say, "Hey, I'll go." But you know what the black dudes on YouTube would tell me? They'll say, you what's that word they call you? Not a wuss. They call you something else. What's the word they call you when you compromise with your woman? A simp. They call you a simp. They'll call me a simp, right? And who wants to be a simp? Who wants to be a simp, right? But that's what they make it. They make it look like you compromising with your woman and you making the best decision on the table. You simping. No, yeah, I have to drive. I drive a hard line. I have to drive a hard line with my woman and make her go out into the evening by herself or whatever because I just gonna drive a hard line. I'm not going. That's not how you can't do 30, you can't do 20, 30 years with somebody like that. You ain't gonna make it pushing a hard line like that. Just not gonna make it. But anyway, let's get back to these single moms. So how are we making all of these single mothers? What is the mentality that is causing us to make these single mothers? Well, like I said, in my opinion, black men are the reason why that we have so many single mothers. Black men. If black men would stop impregnating all of these women, then we wouldn't have the single mother issue at the level that we have it at. But because black men, and then another thing that black men think, that there's some ethereal being that's going to take care of these children. You got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 children by 8 or 9 different women. In some kind of way, you happy, you bragging about the fact that you ain't paying no child support. What? Wait a minute, brother. Let me explain something to you. What do you think child support is? It's just what it says. It's child support. It's supposed to support your child. How is that a good thing that you're not supporting your children? You call yourself a man and you ain't supporting your children. Yeah, but she's taking my money and she's spending it on da. Remember, you picked this person. You picked that person. You picked that person that has that baby with you. You picked her. You picked her. No one forced you to have sex with that lady. You picked that lady and you laid down with her. And you said that prayer. There's a prayer in Genesis, right? Every time you lay down, and Minister Farrakhan tells us, every time you lay down with a woman, you say this prayer. Let us make man after our image and after our likeness. Okay, so sometimes the prayer comes true, sometimes it don't. But that's the purpose of it. The purpose of you laying down with the woman is not for recreational entertainment. The purpose is to make a man after your image and after your likeness, or a female man after your image and after your likeness, right? You can make a man or a wombed man, or we call the wombed man a woman, right? She's the one. She's the man with the womb on her. We call her the wombed man, or the woman, the womb man. Oh man! But you lay down and say that prayer. Let us make man in the after our image and after our likeness, right? That's the purpose of sexual experience. If you get some entertainment out of it, cool. But the purpose is to further your gene line, right? But okay, that's cool. But who's supposed to take care of these babies? This is why I try to tell black men. Who's supposed to take care of all of these babies you got out here? The government? And when I say the government, actually I'm talking about me. You expect me. My taxes are supposed to go help pay for your babies. To me, I don't want to pay taxes on your babies. I'm happy you have these babies. They're beautiful and all of that. But you're supposed to be taking care of them, not me. It's like I go buy a dog and then I go to you expecting you to take care of my dog. It's not your dog. You didn't go out and buy that dog. Why should you have to give me money to take care of my dog? Well, why should I have to give money in my taxes to pay you to take care of your children? No, that's why child support is there. Man, but see, you understand, man. These women spend this money up and they spend it on a new boyfriend. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. So you got to think about it like this. Maybe I should get my own child back. Maybe I should try to get custody of my child. That way I can see what's going on. But half of y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, half of y'all so happy you don't have this baby with you full time, so you can chase other women out there. It's sad, man. It's sad. Meanwhile, what's the byproduct? Children with no fathers in the home. Children who see their fathers maybe once a week or once a month or once a year or whatever, right? Right now, some of you black men, you live right down the street from you got children in foster care right now. You right down the street. You ain't even an hour away from them, and you won't go see them. You won't go see them, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But hey, somebody got to tell you, right? And everybody wants to make stuff like the manosphere, and they tell you, hey, yeah, black women are just doing all of these heinous things. Some of them are. Some of them are. But I don't care what no woman do, that don't relieve you of the obligation of taking care of your children. But some of y'all so happy. Y'all want the woman to have the child so that you don't have the burden of that responsibility. You want the woman to have it so you can be out here smashing and dashing, hitting and running. You can't have it both ways. You can't talk about them for not taking care of the children the way you want them to take care of the children. And then you got the opportunity to take the children, you won't take it because you too busy out here living your life. You trying to live your best life. Now, let me tell you something, when you're a parent, your life is over. Not over, but your life is definitely on the back burner. Your child's life is on the front burner. Now you got to make sacrifices for the child. You got to make sacrifices for your child. But black men are not being taught this. Why? Because you ain't in the house. You ain't seeing no other men make those sacrifices. You ain't seeing no other man do this stuff. You used to watch Good Times. You had strong black men in the house. James Evans. And he was always sacrificing for a family, even though he didn't have nothing to sacrifice. He was always sacrificing his time or his energy or his efforts. And he didn't help them with their homework, because he didn't have all this book learning. But his presence was enough where the people, where the rest of the children was like, hey, man, I'm not going to get myself caught up on the wrong side of James Evans. But our young men don't see that now. Let me hit some of y'all. Let me catch up on the chats. Sister J, DMX had a total of 15 children. Holy smokes. That we know about. Hopefully they were all taken care of while he was alive and now. No, Sister G, no, they had a big problem. Now, the last girl that was with him, his fiance, she got nothing. Their child got nothing because he didn't structure his situation properly. You guys out there, you guys got to go get a trust. Go get a trust. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm giving you advice. Go to a lawyer and talk to a lawyer about getting a trust. If DMX would have had a trust, he would have been able to make sure that everybody would have got something. I mean, the guy didn't have a lot, but everybody could have got something. But he didn't structure his life properly, and his children paid for it. Now they're everybody scrambling to fight for it, just like Eazy-E's situation where everybody was scrambling to try to get something. It's a mess. That's why you never know, Sister G. You never know. So you better take care of your structure, your situation properly, right? K-Business Podcast. I had a client who had 7 baby mamas. Holy smokes. He had his first child at 14. He is currently 25 and he has 8 children. He has a girlfriend he lives with. His girlfriend is an attorney. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Well, you know what, K-Business, that must be some good sexual experience. But to me, it ain't nothing as good as, I don't care how good anything is. I would rather see a child have what he needs than get a good sexual experience. That's me. I wouldn't want no child to be sitting around saying to himself, man, I don't have nobody. I have nobody here, right? I want my father. Children want their father. They have a natural desire for their father and their mother, but they have their mother there, but they have a natural desire. Where's my father, right? And without their father coming in, bringing the balance of the situation, a lot of them, they have developmental issues because they need that other piece to the puzzle to develop properly. And a lot of our people don't understand that. I'm talking about the men now. They don't understand that. They think I could pop in with a present here or there, show up every now and then, and it's all good. That ain't good enough for us. That ain't good enough for us. Uh, K Business Podcast. He is a good-looking kid. Some of his kids are in foster care. 4 of his baby moms were also in the system. He still doesn't have a GED, no skills, nothing. Now, what do you suppose is going to happen? And this is the type of guy, K Business, that if you went up to him and said, "Hey, you taking care of your kid?" "Yeah, I'm taking care of all my kids." "Really? How? How you doing it?" "Oh, I'm taking care of your children. Me and my taxes is taking care of your children. That's what's going on. Is that fair to me? Why should I be paying taxes to pay for your children? Your children don't, you know what I'm saying? Nothing against your children, but why should I be paying for your children?" Just like the analogy I make about the dog. If I go out and buy a dog, and then I go to my neighbor's house and say, "Hey, you owe me $5 because the dog needs food. You owe me $10 because this dog needs a bone. You owe me." I keep going to my neighbor all the time. My neighbor gonna be like, "Wait a minute, I didn't buy that dog. Why am I paying for you to take care of your dog? Likewise, why am I paying to take care of your children?" But the reason why I'm doing that is because we got to err on the side of the children, right? But there's a lot of bad stuff happens because we as men don't stick together and we don't have a standard code of conduct. If we had a standard code of conduct, man, paternity fraud would never be able to happen because all of us would demand upon every live birth, you should have a DNA test. Before anybody signs that birth certificate, you need to have a live DNA test. That would kill paternity fraud. It would kill it. But why? But who? Why would somebody? The states don't want that to happen because the states can still charge you for child support. Even though this may not be your child, they can charge you for the child support. And guess what? Guess what? They don't tell you about child support unless you already have child support. The state charges interest on your child support. They charge interest. So they make money off of not only the support, but they make money off the interest. Like Brother Malcolm said, they got us coming and going. They got us coming and going. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you, K Business Podcast. I hear you. I hear you. Sister G, Biden's giving our tax money to the immigrants. Yeah, he is. He is. He is. But that's a whole nother conversation, Sister G. You're right. Biden is giving tax money to the immigrants. But why is he doing it? Why is he doing it? And why? I thought good old Joe was our buddy. Those of us in the black community, I thought he was our buddy, right? They came to us and said, "Hey, vote for good old Joe. He ain't a racist Republican. So vote for good old Joe." Good old Joe ain't turned out to be so good, is he? But that's a whole nother conversation, though, Sister G. K Business Podcast. If your child is in foster care, social services will also file for child support. Yeah, thank you, K Business Podcast, for being here and putting this stuff out here. Because there ain't a lot of people right here, right now, but they will watch it on the replay and they will see what you're saying. If your child is in foster care, social services will also file for child support. As they should, right? As they should. If they're taking care of your child, they're going to say the same thing I'm saying. Why should I pay for your child? And you are alive out here and you earning money, you should be contributing something to the development of this child, right? But most of our brothers don't understand that. A lot of our brothers don't understand that. A lot of our brothers have podcasts and shows talking about how you shouldn't be paying child support at all. Well, what should be happening then? Who's supposed to be paying for these children? You got 10, 11, 12, or like Sister G said, DMX got 15 children. You got 15 children? I'm supposed to be paying for your 15 children? Why should I pay for your 15 children? You ain't paying for none of mine. But it is what it is. That's the situation. That's the situation. And you're right. Thank you, K Business Podcast, for bringing some of this stuff out. We appreciate you for that. Sister G, reparations to everyone but black people. Yeah. Sister G, don't get me started. We on a whole other topic now, Sister G. Don't get me started on Biden. Good old Joe. Don't get me started. Maybe I'll get to him at the end of the show. Right now, we're talking about how can we got all these single mothers in the Black community? How come we got that? Why is this like this? Why is this like this? And what can we do about it? And what's the effect? If having all these single moms was a good situation, I mean, we can see that it's not a good situation based on the results. Based on the results that it's producing, we can see that having all of these different women being single moms, raising all these children without a man in the house, that is not a good situation. We can see that. We can see the results of that. So why are we still doing it? If we can see that this is not working, why are we continuing to do it? Well, we continuing to do it because these young men, Sister G, sorry, Brother C, just angry and fed up. I know, Sister G. I know, Sister G. You know you get a pass, Sister G. I want to stick to the topic right now, and then I may get to that later. I may get to that later after we get done with this topic. So hold tight, Sister G. I got you. Yeah. So why? How come we still continuing to do something, right? Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result, right? That's what we was told the definition of insanity is. You're doing the same thing, expecting a different result when you're getting the same result every time, right? Why are we continuing to, and so when I say we, I mean Black men. I'm not talking about the Black women anymore. I'm talking about Black men. Why are we continuing to have unprotected sex with women and without even thinking about how we're going to take care of this child if a child should arise from this behavior, right? Why are we continuing to do this? It put us in last place in almost every demographic or every scalable activity that reflects a thriving community. We're almost, if we're not dead last, we almost last, and we have nothing to show for it except a bunch of misguided youth. We don't have anything to show for this behavior. So why are we continuing to do it? Men, why were you continuing to have unprotected sex when you could just use a condom? That would probably cut down on half of these births. But let me get back to the paternity fraud. So men complain about paternity. This is one thing about in the manosphere, they complain a lot. They say, oh, paternity fraud is ridiculous. Paternity fraud is it's sad. And it is. It's sad to see a man that thought a baby was his, and then he finds out that's not his baby biologically, and then he has to figure out what he's going to do next, right? He says to himself, hey man, I love this baby because I thought it was my baby. But it's his right. You can't force a man to say, well, you should just look after him anyway. No, why should I look after somebody else's child? I shouldn't have to be forced to do that, right? A lot of these states don't agree with that. A lot of these states say, if you sign a birth certificate, then you are the man. So how do we stop that? How will we stop that? Everything every day, Brother D in the building. Get them likes. So I appreciate that, Brother D. Thank you. Thank you. I told y'all yesterday about a video that Delon did on Anton disrespecting his sister, Kayla. Man, if you have any doubts that Anton is disrespectful to some of his guests, if Hannibal wasn't bad enough, if Tawana wasn't bad enough, go and check out this video that Daryl did about, I think it's a pastor, something like that. I don't know, but I put it in the live stream. I put the link in the live stream I did yesterday. I don't know the exact name of the video. Brother Daryl, give them the name. Give them the name of that video so they can go see it, or give them the link to it or whatever, so they can go see that. If you got any doubt, and I don't, like I say, I don't hate Anton. I think he's a good dude when you get down all the way to it. but I think he just has some issues that need to be addressed so that that Lapeef situation could be a better situation. They could actually return that product into something a lot better. Anyway, but hey, go check out Lapeef for yourself. Go check out this video for yourself. Go check out everything for yourself, and you see for yourself. Because here, I ain't here to sway your judgment. I'm just here to tell you the truth. You go and look for yourself. Anyway, let's get back to this paternity fraud. So, how can we stop this paternity fraud? Well, all we have to do as men is get together and lobby so that at every live birth, it has to be a DNA swab on anybody in the room, anybody who wants to go for the swab, anybody who's thinking about signing that birth certificate, you got to let us swab you. Period. The end. Paternity fraud over. No more paternity fraud ever exists anymore after that, right? It'll all be just retroactive. But are we as men doing that? No. Why? Because you know why? We don't want to get in a bad way with our women. We don't want our women to get in a bad way with us, right? Because the state doesn't want us to do it because the state is charging men, even if it's your biological child or not, the state makes money off of you. They charge you interest. If you were just paying the baby mother, giving her direct money, your baby mother's not charging you interest. But when the state has to collect the money from you, guess what? They're charging interest. They're charging you interest on that money. Right? I mean, it's just a lot worse. And then it's much more difficult once you find out that you're not the biological father. It ain't about going down. You can't just walk into court and say, oh, yeah, I'm not the biological father. We found out because she had to get a blood transfusion, and I found out I'm not her biological father. The court don't say, oh, okay, well, we didn't know that. Okay, hey, let's stop this child support order right now. Bang. It's like the lead attorney said. You know what them judges say? Let's just keep doing it this way. You got to go back and fight them to get off that thing. That's why I say you could kill that paternity fraud by just demanding a DNA test at every live birth and make it a law. Anybody that signs that birth certificate, any male that signs that birth certificate, got to be swabbed. Man, I'm telling you, it'll cut down on so much paternity fraud, bro. But I'm telling you, it still be dudes that love the girl enough to say, even though this ain't my baby, I'll still stay with her. And they might hang in there for a couple of years. But most guys who find out that, hey, this is not my baby, especially guys who've been over in Iraq and over, our military vets and people that have to go out of town to work, truckers and stuff like that. You gone for a week or two at a time. Come on. Once you find out this baby ain't yours, you really gonna stick around? Nobody can blame you once you find out that a baby's not yours, that you don't want to be with this woman in that situation, period. Because if she'll do that to you, what else would she do to you? Right? If she kind you about your own flesh and blood, what would she kind you about? That's what you got to think about. But that's our only way of permanently ending paternity fraud is demanding a DNA test. Okay, so the law doesn't do it, but you can. You as the father of the baby, or the quote unquote presumed father, you can say, okay, I'm going to sign this birth certificate, but after I get the results of the DNA, I got to get the results of the DNA test first. Then I'll sign it. And when you come back and they say it's 99.99999% is you, cool. But they come back and say it's 100%, no way you could be the father. You got other issues to deal with besides signing the birth certificate. But if you sign that birth certificate before getting a validation, blood test validation, that's on you. So you can't complain. You can't complain, come back here and say, oh, the girl took advantage of me and she was doing this, she was doing that. No, you have options on the table. You can go get a blood test right when that baby is born. You can demand a blood test. You can demand a DNA test. See? But they're not going to tell you that. The doctor's not going to tell you that. The nurses ain't going to tell you that. The girl that's just had the baby ain't going to tell you that. Her people ain't going to tell you that. Nobody's going to tell you that. Only your people going to tell you that, maybe. But if they don't know, they're going to let you go ahead and sign that birth certificate. And then the next thing you know, you find out that ain't your baby. Only one that's going to stop you, I'm going to tell you who's going to stop you from signing that birth certificate. If your mama's in the room, your mama looks at that baby, looks at you, and she see if that baby ain't from you, some about black women, man, they got the spirit of discernment. They can see that kind of stuff. They look at that baby, they look at you, and they say, hey, son, this ain't your baby. This is not your baby. That's the only one that's going to probably get at you. Your people, your mother, your father. The rest of the people, man, the state, what does the state have to do? What does the state have to gain by you not being on the hook for this baby? Whether it's yours or not is irrelevant. Whether it's your child or not is irrelevant. What does the state care? Who they get the money from, as long as they get the money, as long as they charging that interest, right? The doctors, do they care? Do they want a big uproar in their operating room? I mean, they maternity ward, because you found out that this is not your baby? They don't care. The nurses, what do they care? And like I said, that lady that's laying on the table that just had that baby, what do they care? Right? Nobody cares about none of that stuff, right? So you on your own, man. You on your own. If you don't know this stuff, nobody don't tell you this stuff before you had this baby, you don't know. You don't know. Every live birth, listen to me, young men, every live birth, you should demand a DNA test. You should demand it. You should demand it. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. JP, you can make being present for any pregnancy related to testing a standard for dating. Yeah, I mean, well, JP, I'm just talking about the live births. True, you can, but I'm saying if I'm with a woman, if I'm with a girl and she turns up pregnant, and I know I've been sexually active with her, she turns up pregnant, but I'm not with her 24/7. You ain't with a woman 24/7. You don't know what she's doing. You don't know, right? Just like you ain't with no man 24/7. You don't know what he's doing. So you can feel like, oh well, I'm pretty sure that this person wouldn't do this. You never know. You never know what somebody's doing. Given the opportunity and desire, some of the greatest men in history have fallen because of opportunity and desire. Right? So yeah, but we talking about this live birth situation where a woman has a baby and they just say, "Hey, sir, you're here. Sign the birth certificate." No, I'm not signing nothing until we do a DNA swab. You know this baby's yours. I ain't been with nobody else. Okay, that's cool. Then the test will confirm that, right? That's cool. It's not. It's cool. We just got to we got to tell these women that's in this situation, we just trying to do business properly. And birth certificate, that's a business transaction, right? You know what a birth certificate is? A birth certificate says you telling the state, I have this child. If I mess up at any time, I'm authorizing you to be able to take guardianship over this child. That's what a birth certificate does. It also lets the government of the United States of America go and borrow money against that birth. We got another person that just got born. He's probably going to work for 30 years. He's going to earn this much, pay this much taxes. So we want to borrow against the tax money that this person's going to make. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you how they do. They borrow against those live births. They borrow against the attachment because they say this person's going to be in the machine working, so we're going to definitely be able to pay you back. We always going to have cash on hand because this person's going to work somewhere. They got a formula for figuring all that out. That way, when they go to another country like China or England or whatever, and they borrow money, or Sweden or whatever, they borrow money. They can borrow money because they know we just had 500,000 live births. Most of them are going to be working. Most of them are going to pay taxes. So we'll be able to pay you back this money over a 20-year period. Just being real with y'all. JP telling her you expect this during the dating process lets her know the important trust and loyalty that are to a man. Yeah. This is why I talk about the courting process. The courting process is very important because this is where you talk all this stuff out. You let her know, hey, and this is where we saw the situation with the young man who ended up killing the person he thought was a little female, right? That will never happen in the courting process, because once you meet the family, see, in the part of the courting process, you have to meet the family, right? You meet the family and you get a vibe from the family what's going on, right? But if you can't go meet the family, and I understand some people have issues with their family, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's a huge red flag, but it's definitely a something to look into. Definitely, if somebody have an issue with their family, it's definitely something to look into, at least to get a better understanding, right? I mean, if you're thinking about marrying this person, why can't they get along with the people that they loved before they met you, right? You got to think about that. Like, okay, well, why? You got to look into it. But yeah, definitely being upfront and letting people know, hey, this is what I expect. This is what I want to do. And if you're not down with that, it's cool. Let's get it together. You know what I mean? JP, right, bro, Clarence, because we are the GDP. Exactly, right? Exactly. We are what they call the human computers, right? And they know, hey, most of us are going to work. Most of us are going to pay taxes. So when they go borrow money, they say, hey, look, we just had 200,000 live births. Most of these people are going to pay taxes. This is how much taxes they're going to probably pay in 20 years. So we've got enough income to pay you back. That's why their credit rating is so high, not because they did something so great. It's because they use us. It's the Matrix for sure. Sister J, long story short, be responsible, use protection, period. Yeah, use protection. You should use protection. That'll cut down on all of these live births. Then on the live birth side, you can cut down on the paternity fraud by demanding a DNA test. But for some reason, in particular, black men do not like to wear condoms. I don't know why. Well, I haven't been in a position where I have to wear a condom, but I understand why they don't like to do it. So let me say, it's not that I don't understand why, but I don't understand why they don't consider the risk involved in not wearing a condom. You're not married to this person. Why not wear a condom? Because anything can happen. Especially you got a crazy woman on your hands, or that you don't have your life together. Why would you even put yourself in a position where you don't even have your life together? You second-year college student, and now you done got somebody pregnant. Now you got to stop going to college and go get a job to help pay and take care of a baby. And then your resentment is going to always be there because you had to leave college. You had to leave your dream to go be with her, and you're going to be mad at her when it wasn't even her fault. It's your fault because you knew what you was doing when you entered into her. And you knew what you was doing when you left the seed in there. That's what's supposed to happen. What's supposed to happen, she's supposed to get pregnant. Sister G say, period. Period. I know we got you, Sister G. We know what you're talking about. But my point is, black men, how come you guys are letting this stuff get down how come we getting down like this? Why are we getting down like this? Why Why are we? See, this is where I break from the manosphere, and that's probably why I've never been asked to participate in that. I break from the manosphere because I feel like black men are actually the reason why all of these issues are happening. They are the focal point of this situation. If black men would just figure out, get the discipline of how to approach women and deal with women, then things will be a lot better. Especially our women, especially black women. Black women have had so many different things. Like I said, I saw a stat that said 75% of black women have had some type of sexual misconduct happen to them in their lifetime, at least once, right? Bro, that's a lot. That's the average. Some of these people have had so much issues happen to them. And so we say to these women, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. These women are crazy. Why are they crazy? Why are they crazy? Besides getting involved in questionable activity, why are they crazy? They're crazy because, number one, when they was growing up, they grew up in a single parent household, usually from the mother. So they never saw the exchange of good vibes from the mother to the father and the father to the mother. They never saw that. So if you don't know what that looks like, how can you reproduce something that you never saw how it looks? Then on top of that, like Sister G was telling me, some of these women have had traumatic experiences where they've been violated sexually. They've been violated at a young age, like 8, 9, 10 years old. 8, 9, 10 years old. They've had issues. I knew a sister, man. I'm not going to put her name out there. I saw a sister. I knew a sister. Her grandfather, she was telling me about her grandfather would chase her around the house in a wheelchair. Her and her family went to go visit her grandfather out of state. They were staying there for 2 weeks. And every chance this man got, he was trying to lift up her shirt. And she was probably only 11 or 12 years old. He's trying to lift up her shirt, saying a bunch of nasty stuff to her. Her biological grandfather, he was in a wheelchair. Finally, one night they was there. The sister was sleeping, and she felt somebody touching on her, and she looked up, and it was him in her bed in the room that she was sleeping in, with his hands on her. She just screamed and started beating the dude. Dude turned his wheelchair around and rolled his wheelchair out of the room. Now, the sister woke up everybody in the house. So she said when her mother and her father came, mother and father came down, they said, "Hey, what's going on?" She's explained what's been happening. She explained what's been happening. Well, in that initial moment, she explained what happened. So they went to the grandfather, and it was her father's father, and so her father was like, "Oh man, you just misunderstood him. You know, he just probably was trying to tuck you in and this and that." His blood brother was also staying there, and his wife and his blood brother said, "Nah, man, nah. I've had this happen with my daughters as well. I should have told you about it." When he said that, everybody knew, like, oh, okay, what happened? We got to keep an eye on this dude. But you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is going on all the time. A lot of times, rather. Stuff like that is going on a lot of times. So a lot of our women being abused. They're not in their right mind. Now, am I telling you to hook up with somebody that's not in their right mind? No, I'm not. I'm telling you, like Kevin Samuels tell these women, go to help tell them the best thing you could do for them is tell them to go get counseling. Go get counseling for these issues. If you got, you see a woman, she looks good and everything, but she can't keep a man. There's an issue there. There's an issue there. Some type of issue there. Something has happened, altered her mind, where she's not able to see the benefit of being a feminine woman and having attracting a masculine male, and how that situation relates to each other and keeping a man, on deck. That's why I trip when I see these women that don't got no man giving out man advice. Kendra G, Cynthia G, and others. I see them giving out advice. I'm like, who would listen to this advice? That's like Oprah giving out man advice. Oprah is the person you talk to about syndication. You want to make billions of dollars, listen to Oprah. You want to have no man, listen to Oprah. Hell, Oprah got her friend divorced. She got Gail divorced, and then got Gail a job on CBS. Right? It's who you know, right? But the point is, Gail listened to Oprah, and now she ain't got no man. Right? Oprah didn't have no man, and she kept bugging Gail until Gail's husband couldn't take it no more. Can't listen. You got to watch who you listening to. Got to watch who you listen to, because if you listen to the wrong people, man, they can put you in the ditch. Anyway, let's get back to all of these single mothers. So we got all these single mothers here, right? What's another option? Well, what are the options on the table to stop single moms? Well, the first and easiest option is for these men to just abstain from being with women until they've courted them and vetted them enough to realize whether they should be in their world or not, right? That's the first and easiest option. What's the second option? Well, we're just talking about it, right? Baby murder, right? Well, the word they use is abortion, right? That's a better sounding word, but I'm gonna just tell you what it is. It's baby murder. It's legalized baby murder. It's a legalized lynching, right? Where they can go into the woman and actually kill a baby that's in there, because a baby is born at conception. A baby is formed at conception. So now you got a living thing in your body at conception, right? The brain might not be there and everything else might not be developed yet, but at conception, this thing is alive. It is alive. Maybe not it doesn't know its name or can't see it like that, but it's alive. So when you kill something that's alive unjustly, it's murder. I don't know. Maybe somebody else could look it up in the book. Now, where did the option of baby murder come into? Where did that option come from? Well, it came from a lady. I keep forgetting her name. The lady that invented, one of y'all look it up, the lady that invented Planned Parenthood. The white lady that made up Planned Parenthood. And what was the purpose of Planned Parenthood? She looked around and she saw that black and brown people was having all these babies, and white people weren't. Their birth record was slowing down. And she said to herself, we're going to be in a bad situation once the black and the brown people get to be the majority figures here in this country. So what we need to do is we need to neutralize their birthing. So the way they figured out to neutralize their birthing is by covertly making them infertile. By just saying, hey, let us go in, we'll tie your tubes up. We'll give you an abortion, we'll tie your tubes up. Of course, they didn't say it that way, but they said, hey, look, let's help you. That way you can have more sex without worrying about bringing more children into the world. That's the way they put it to them. But what happened? What happened to that? It got away from them because you know what it was? The baby murder is that's a get out of jail card for white women. White women saw it as a get out of jail card. What do you mean get out of jail card, Brother Klein? I mean, white women that was out there having sex with men while their husband was away at the war in the war, World War II. Now you had a way for them to get rid of the baby that was in their stomachs without the husband ever knowing about it. This is all documented stuff, man. It's all documented, man. I'm not saying nothing that's crazy. Sound crazy, but it's not. So white women decided to start, using abortion as a reset button, especially the ones in college, high school and college. They start using abortion as a reset, but as a reset to their life. And of course, now it's woven its way into the world. I don't have no say so one way or the other. You should have the option of baby murder if you want it. You should have, but call it what it is. Don't say it's an abortion. It's not an abortion. It's baby murder. It's baby murder. That's what it is. And if you murdering the baby, just say it. I think if you say it, you'll think about it and you'll know, okay, this is what I'm doing. But some women feel like I have no option. I got a husband coming home from the military from Afghanistan. I cannot be having a baby by another guy. I cannot do that to that man. Okay, well, that's what you got to do. But just understand what you just call it what it is. What you shouldn't have did to the man is have sex with another man in the first place. That's what you shouldn't have did. But they don't say that, right? That's not the issue, whether you had sex with somebody else. The issue is this man left a seed in me, and now I'm germinating this other man's seed, and I got another man coming home after risking his life for his country, coming back home to expect to see a clean as a whistle vagina, and he's going to find out that this vagina is not clean as a whistle. What is he liable to do? He's coming back with all these weapons. What is he liable to do? So they use the abortion or baby murder as a tool to get out of that situation. Or now we get to the 70s and 80s, right? Where a lot of where sex, especially in the Black community, women take pride in having a vagina that has been used by several different men, right? They take pride in that. Black women are the only women that will brag about that situation, right? However, now we're in the 70s and 80s where, it's not, you don't look as bad having sex with all these different men. It doesn't look as bad. People don't look at you with a scarlet letter no more, right? But all the sex means it's going to be some casualties, right? Some people are going to ring the bell. And when you ring the bell, that means you in high school, you in college, but they're telling you, you live your life, live your best life. Well, how you going to live your best life if you're starting out with a baby already? So what they do, they tell you don't have a baby, go get a baby murder. So you go get a baby murder to push the reset button. Boom. Now you don't have the baby no more, and you out there now. You can go back to college. You can even stay in college or stay in high school or whatever, right? Back in the old days, a girl in high school get pregnant. They had particular schools for pregnant women in high school, right? They had a particular school where they sent women like that, right? They got them off the playing field because they knew at some point their stomach's gonna get so big, people's gonna start asking questions. They don't want to have to answer none of those questions, so they sent them to a special school where everybody is in that situation, whether it was consensual or not, right? Now you saying, Brother Clarence, what about in the case of rape? Grape. What about the case of grape? Should baby murder be acceptable? Baby murder should be acceptable in any instance. I don't have no stance one way or the other. I wish it wouldn't be a situation, but if they got a safer way for you to do it, and you're not going to risk your own health, I can't stand in the way of anybody because I don't know the circumstances why you would want a baby murder. Maybe a grape did occur, and the person is saying, I don't care how much this baby is of me, it's of that person, and I don't want to be raising nothing of that person. Maybe that person feel that way. What can I do? I'm just saying, let's call it by its real name, which is baby murder. Anyway, so baby murder is one option. What's another option? Another option is adoption. You can have the baby and put the baby up for adoption, right? But how many women, after having a baby, look at that baby in his eyes, all the pain and suffering she went through to have that baby, passing through death to give that baby to this man, and now she see the baby. How can she just give it away? Some people can, some people can't. But that's an option, right? Adoption is an option. You could put the baby up for adoption, right? So there's many different ways, many different things can be done. Many different things can be done. Because let me tell you, fellas, once you give your seed to a woman, now it is no longer yours. It belongs to her. She has possession of them. She has possession of your sperm. It no longer is your sperm anymore. And now she can use your sperm for its intended purpose, which is to fertilize an egg. Once said egg is fertilized, you have no more say so in nothing anymore. If she wants to go get a baby murder, if she wants to go and put the child up for adoption, you have no legal rights nowhere. The only legal right you have is to pay if you sign that birth certificate. And what did I tell you a birth certificate is? A birth certificate is an agreement between you and the state. You telling the state, I got this baby from a live birth. And the state is telling you, okay, check this out. If something goes wrong between you and this woman, or something gets out of hand, you authorizing us as a state to be able to step in and take control of this baby. That's how come the state can come in and take your children from you, because you signed a birth certificate. You agreed that the state is going to be the ward over this child if something of danger arises, and they determine it's dangerous. They, the state, right? They determine that you have your baby in an environment that's unsafe. They can take this baby from you. That's what a birth certificate is. It's you agreeing that the state has the ultimate authority over this baby. I know they don't tell you that. This is maritime information. They don't tell you this stuff. They tell you to sign a birth certificate so that you can be on record as the dad. It has way more implications than that. Way more implications. We're not going to get into all of it today, but way more implications than just you telling the whole world you're the dad. So so let's talk about the options on the table so far. Oh, we didn't even talk about the after sex pill. They got an after sex pill that you can take between 24 and 48 hours after having sex that will also baby murder. It will self baby murder this baby. Right? The morning after pill. That's what they call it. The morning after pill. The morning after pill. So all these options you got out there. You got the pill. You got well. First of all, you got the pill that keep you from having sex or keep your body from having a fertile environment for the semen to connect with the egg, you have that pill. Then you have the morning after pill. That's the pill that actually uh, commits baby murder with just a pill. But if that don't work, then you got the actual baby murder where a doctor can go in and snatch the baby out of you. Then you got adoption. You got the adoption method. So you got all these methods to keeping you from having a baby while still engaging in unprotected sex, right? But I say, in my opinion, your best bet is to stop with the unprotected sex. It's people running around out here with herpes, HIV, all this stuff, and you don't know until you have a chance to talk to them and see what that lifestyle is like. You don't know, especially men. Men, you don't know. Women are good. A lot of women are good, man. They're very good at looking like one thing and actually being something else. Right? You ever been with a woman? Yeah, I've never done this before. Right? You're like, damn, you're pretty good for a first timer. Right? But what's the point of that? The point is, it's a different thing. See, man, back in the 80s, when I was coming up, in the 70s and 80s, when I was coming up, the worst thing could happen is somebody give you something, you go to the clinic, get a shot, done. Now, bro, you got herpes simplex, herpes complex simplex, you got HIV, you got corona, you got all these different things that could affect you, man. You don't know what's going on, what people got out there. You have to vet them. You have to. But a lot of you guys are so scared. Just like I say, man, you so scared. You won't demand a DNA test at the live birth. If you there at the live birth, you hear that baby scream, you should say, okay. And as soon as they hand you that paperwork, you say, Because now, see what they do now is you don't actually sign the exact birth certificate. You may sign something else. And they may you sign this birth certificate later. But you shouldn't sign nothing without having a DNA swab. But y'all too scared because the woman's gonna say to you, "You know this is your baby. Don't even do that." But if she understood your position and love you like she say she do, she'll understand. Hey, that's no problem. Okay, because it's gonna come out the way I told you anyway. But go ahead and get it. Go ahead and do a DNA test. It's only the ones that know they got an issue that's gonna say, "No, don't do a DNA test." Why not? If you just been with just me, then it shouldn't be the problem, right? But when you ask for a DNA test and you get kicked back, some may, they used to say in the old cartoons, something ain't right in Denmark. Yeah, something's not right in Denmark. Sister G, some women didn't even use Planned Parenthood. They used wire hangers. Yeah. But I didn't want to get into all of that. Sister G, but you're right. You're right. They did all kind of different things to get that stuff out of there, right? Because you got a man coming home, fought for his country or did whatever. He's been on the road for 2-3 weeks, and now you got to explain to him why you got a baby that's not his in your stomach. How do you do that? How do you sit somebody down and explain to them, I got somebody else's baby in my stomach? It's not good. It's not a good situation. So it's easier to try to get rid of the baby, right? They did all kind of different stuff. And to us, they experimented on a lot of different stuff. Sister G, some of the stuff was so, a wire hanger is nothing compared to some of the stuff they did to us. They used vacuum cleaners on us. They did. That's documented. They did a lot of different stuff trying to figure out how to get this to work right. Anyway, y'all all right? Y'all all right? Just let me talk to you for a few more minutes, right? That's an old Muslim joke. It means I'm going to be here for a couple of more hours, right? Anyway, so women have all these ways of getting rid of a baby, right? But it depends on how they feel at the time. It depends on how they feel. If a woman don't feel like, hey, this is, or they feel like this baby will make you want to be with me more. Like, for example, it's my opinion that the Kardashians, particularly Kim Kardashian, she felt that because of her long history of sexual encounters with other men, she felt that if I give Kanye more children, then he'll look at me differently than a person that just was, having sex with all these different public figures. I'll be looked at differently. But now we come to see that it disturbed him, the fact that he could turn around and get the history of his wife's sexual history at any time off the internet. How would you feel, brother, if you could get your wife's sexual history off the internet at any time? It literally destroyed him. It literally destroyed the guy. There was nothing Kim Kardashian could do. She gave the man 4 children. She was with the man, but what could he do? He would always run around doubting himself. Is she just selling with me? She's had all this sexual experience. It always create doubt in his head whether he was actually, breaking ground with her sexually. See, that's when bodies come to haunt you. That's when bodies come to haunt you. When you got bodies like that, like Kim Kardashian, you doing dick stacking like that, that's when bodies come to haunt you. It'll come to haunt you. It actually don't haunt you. It'll haunt the man you with. Because the man you with will be like, man, she was with him and him and him and him and him. And they got a tape and these one got a tape and this one got a tape. How can you as a man crawl out from under that where you feel okay being with a woman that has public bodies that you can go look? I mean, every woman got bodies, but I'm saying you got public bodies. Public bodies you can look up and you can say, oh man, this dude was this dude was that. So, and I'm sure we haven't heard anything, but I'm sure Kim and the rest of them have used one or two of those tactics to get rid of somebody's baby that they didn't necessarily want. Just being real. Just being real. Okay, so we looked at how single mothers get here, right? We looked at how they get here, and we looked at how why they are not looked at as a good situation, and basically it's because of the children. You look at the children saying the children should have both parents to develop properly, right? So you don't have both parents. Now what? Now what? Well, for men, they're going to run the streets a lot of times. And then for girls, if they don't have the right kind of guidance, they're going to run the streets, right? This is why it's dangerous. Single parenthood is dangerous. And it wasn't, God didn't set us up to be single parents. But what's the main reason why? Because you as men, you ain't vetting these women. You're not vetting these women. You're not looking at them. See, if you're going to sleep with somebody, you better say to yourself, man, what's the worst that could happen if I'm with this person and they have a baby? Do I have the same goals as them? Are they relationship ready? Am I relationship ready? You need to know all this stuff before you even lay down with a woman. Because sometimes some of these women, man, you just an ends to a means, like PJ Carter was to Brittany Renner. Just a way to get money. I have a baby with you now. I get $200,000 of your income for the next 18 years. 218 payments of $200,000. Let's see how much that is. Let's look at it right now. Let's see. How much is that? How much is 218 payments, which is 18 years? Let's look at how much it costs. Where's my calculator? Got it. Let's see how much that actually costs. Okay, let's see. 218 times 200,000. $46,600,000. $46,600,000 the man's gonna have to pay. That's if the state don't come get it. If he just pays it directly to her, there's no interest on that money. If the state comes and get it, let's see, the state gonna charge you, let's say they charge you 12% interest. Okay. Add an extra $5,232,000 onto that. Because they're gonna charge you interest on that money. I think they charge around 12%. Ay. How much is the price of a condom? $3 max, maybe. $3. $3 maybe. A $3 investment would say this man. Let's see. If we add the 5 million to the 43 million, that's $48 million. Man would say $48 million if you just use a $3 condom. But black men and condoms just do not mix. So black man, if you don't want to wear a condom, only have sex with a woman you think you're going to marry. That's it. That you have vetted and you think you can marry. And you shouldn't be having sex on the first date, not even on the second date, as far as I'm concerned, because you need time to see the kind of lifestyle the person is living so you won't make the bad mistake of picking a woman. You right now, if you go out here right now, you guys can go to other YouTube content creators. These content creators, a whole page is about how black women, not even black women, but just women in general, are just out to get the system based on child support. But they can't hustle you on child support if you're not having unprotected sex with them. That's the part they don't sell. They selling, these women, they're terrorists because they out here asking you for provisions for this child. There wouldn't be no child if you wouldn't have unprotected sex with these women. Somebody help me understand this. Is it me? Am I crazy? Is it me? That's what I don't understand. These guys don't sell that to the guys. They sell, these women are so evil, women are so bad, women are so evil. But yo, bro, y'all are picking those women. This is what I'm saying. Don't pick bad women to have sex with. And you're going to have, your problems will go away. Almost all your problems will go away if you don't pick bad people to have sex with. But the guys out there, especially the guys in the manosphere, they'll tell you women are so bad, women are so evil, women will do this and women will do that. Yo, bro, it's y'all picking those kind of women. The kind of women that won't do something like that, you ain't giving them a second look. Maybe she got a little bit of extra weight on her. She wear a little bit other than herself. Or maybe she wearing glasses. Maybe she ain't got that weave in her head. So you ain't looking at her as even on the playing board. Or maybe she ain't out there giving it up like a lot of other women are. And Sister G, I understand. I know there's reasons why women are doing that, right? We talked about that. You know, a lot of these women have been abused. And so they get a mentality that, hey, might as well. Right? I get it. I get it. But I'm just saying for the purpose of talking, women that need help mentally, you should put them in if you sit down with somebody, by the third time you talk with somebody, you should know whether they need counseling. You should be up on that game or not. You should know, hey, this person is not, the elevator is not going all the way up. I can't attach myself and my financial life to this person. Let me help them get some help. Direct them to a counselor or something. But you know, the problem is the average woman's gonna say, I don't need no help. I'm good. Yeah, but you single. Yeah, but I'm good. Yeah, but you got another person's hair in your head. Wait a minute. Just listen how crazy that sounds. You got another person, a whole nother human being's hair in your head. And it ain't keeping you alive. It ain't like a kidney or a gallbladder. It ain't keeping you alive or nothing. It's merely for aesthetics. So let me see that. Let me see something. You feel that you are so ugly, you got to put a whole nother person's hair in your head. That's crazy. That's crazy. And why should I look at you like you something more if that's how you feel about yourself? But that's us as black men. We drop the ball. We don't let our sisters know how beautiful they are. We too busy telling them to take off all their clothes and taking them to crazy places like strip clubs. What the F would I need to take my wife or my girlfriend to a strip club for? Just to have fun. What fun? I'm encouraging chaos in her brain by taking her someplace like that. Why would, and then I'm gonna be mad when she try to make that kind of stuff, crazy stuff happen physically. I'm gonna be mad with her because she's doing it. When I'm the one that took her to the place where the seed got sown. Crazy, man. Crazy. It's crazy. But I want to emphasize this to, especially the men. I want to emphasize this to you. You guys are picking these crazy women to have sex with. You're not vetting them. You're not checking out their lifestyle. You're not checking out her. Just like, now, I can't blame Kanye West because Kanye West, he knew her lifestyle. He knew her previous lifestyle. He knew that she had been having sex all over the globe and having sex with different dudes. She knew that. He knew that already about her. Yet, for some reason, he said to himself, there's something in there that hasn't been used yet, so I'm going to go there. And he thought in his mind, I can handle the weight of her public indiscretions. I can handle that weight, but it proved too much for him mentally. It just proved too much. It just kept eating and eating and eating and eating and eating it, and drove him crazy. That's when bodies come back to haunt you, sister. When you got whether you it either comes out in your behavior or it comes out in the public. Dudes coming up to you saying, "Hey, yeah, I remember when I was with her." You know, who wants to hear that? Who wants to hear that about their wife or their girlfriend? Yeah, good luck, man. Who wants to hear that? But Kanye West tried to, I got to give him credit, man. He tried to hang in there. I wouldn't have tried to do something like that if I had known about that situation and it was public like that. I probably would not have tried. But he was really in love with her. He loved her, right? She said everything you're supposed to say to somebody. You trying to put them on the hook. I love only you. All of that stuff was before you. Don't hold that against me. I'm just, but especially a person like Kanye West, very insecure brother. But a lot of artistic people are insecure like that. How is he going to function in that situation over a long haul? He made it 7 years, but he was just out of his mind. Sister J, Kanye was already gone when his mom died. He was, but that's why he clung so hard to Kim. He clung so hard to Kim because his mom was gone, and he felt like she would give him what his mom was trying to give him, and I think she tried to give him that, but she didn't realize how complex this man was and how much his mother constantly was pulling him off the ledge. See, his mother was the one that could talk him off the ledge all the time. And so I think when Kim got into the situation, she didn't realize, oh my God, this is what this lady was going through. I had to constantly talk this man off the ledge. Right? But she thought, oh, if I give him babies, then maybe that'll calm him down. Did it calm him down? No. Why? Because he ain't the one taking care of those babies. See, it's different when you the man in the house and you taking care of babies. Right? You sitting with them. One time my mother said, I'm glad to see you willing to babysit your children, my sons. I had 3 sons. She said, I'm glad to see you. I said, Mom, when they're your children, you ain't babysitting. You know what I'm saying? These are my children. Who else is supposed to be sitting with them? While my wife go do whatever, right? Who's supposed to be sitting with them? You're right. I'm going to sit with them anytime I get. But see, when you got that kind of money, like Kanye West and you got billions of dollars, you can have the nanny, the assistant to the nanny, not the nanny. You can have the nanny's assistant to deal with the baby. You can pay an assistant nanny. Real talk. I've lived in Los Angeles all my life. I worked for the city of Los Angeles. I've been all over Los Angeles, the west side, the east side, south side, the north side. I've been all over. I've seen people living with just the front of the property was $10 million. Right? Just the front of the property. One time I seen this property, man. It's in a guard-gated community. It's only 3 houses in this guard-gated community. 3. That's how exclusive this place was. I go do my business at one of the houses, and I see this black dude driving the car, and I was surprised. I was like, a black dude? You own this place? So I was a little forward. I asked the dude, I said, hey, man, how you doing? He said, hey, I'm all right. He's getting in his car, starting up his Land Rover, about to roll out. I said, hey, man, what kind of line of work you in, man? You afford a place like this? He laughed at me and gave me the gun, right? And he drove off, right? So I said, oh, okay, he played me like that. Okay, no problem. I took care of my business at the place. I went to the other. I had business at all 3 places, man. So I took care of the business at. I mean, talking about a beautiful home. I'm talking about front property was an acre. Front property is probably 1.5 acres, 2 acres, and then the backyard is probably another acre. And you could look out and you could see in every direction all over Los Angeles. You could see the airport, the ocean. You can see the San Gabriel Mountains. You can see the San Fernando Valley. You can see everything in every direction. That's how beautiful this house was. That's how where it was set up in these hills. So as I'm leaving the property, you got to check out with the guard. So I'm checking out with the guard. I'll say, hey man, you know that guy that just drove out of here, the black dude in the gray Land Rover? He said, oh yeah, man, yeah, I know him. I said, man, what kind of work is he doing, man? He got that place back there. He said, what? I said, what kind of work does that guy do? He's got that place back there. He said, that ain't his place. He's the chef. I said, what? He said, yeah, that guy's the chef. I said, oh, okay. No wonder he didn't want to tell me. He said, yeah, man, that guy's the chef. Don't worry about it. He said, the guy that owns that property, man, he said, I think he's a real estate mogul or something like that, man. Because I know one of the people was TV mogul. One of the people was a real estate mogul, and one I didn't know what the other one did. That way, boy, glad you're in the house, man. Glad you're in the house. We got a few more minutes. We're going through. We're gonna push it through probably another half an hour, and then we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna call it a day. So yeah. So if you guys got questions, I didn't put the y'all don't be telling me, man. I didn't put the link out there, man. Y'all gotta tell me that, man. I'll be forgetting. You know what I'm saying? Put the link out there, man. I'll be forgetting. I get to talking so much, man. I'll be forgetting. Anyway, whoever want to come up, if you don't, y'all want to hear me run my mouth for a little while longer, come on. Strap in, and then I'll let y'all go. And y'all can go take y'all children to go get candy or whatever, if that's what you do. Right? All right, so anyway, yeah, man. So I was like, man, damn, man. But it just goes to show you never know what's happening. You never know what's happening. You may think one thing is happening, but it's actually something else happening. Anyway. Yeah, so Kanye tried to hang in there, right? He's got a woman. She's got all this public verification of her sexual exploits, right? The man ate him up. Now, his mama was his rock. I believe if his mama was still here, he'd still be married to Kim Kardashian, because she would have told him, hang in there. You're already there. If she's treating you good, hang in there. But Kim Kardashian had no effing idea what she was walking herself into. No idea. And then on top of that, how could she walk back all of that stuff she did, where she got a video at Ray J, video with Reggie Bush, video with this dude, video with that. I mean, all this evidence that's out here. Anybody can see your wife doing whatever. Hard pill to swallow, ladies. Hard pill to swallow. That's why I say, if you can, keep the bodies low. Keep the bodies low. It's easier on a man to deal with a woman with a low body count. I mean, a low body count is hard to deal with, because most men would like you to be a virgin. But we live in America, and it's probably not a person that's going to be a virgin. And if a person is a virgin in America, it's probably not going to be from a good experience, right? It's typically going to be from some other kind of bad experience that they had that forced them into virginity at a late age. So it's hard. It's hard in America. That's why courting is good. Courting is good. You got to court a person, see where they're at, see where they're going, see what they want in their life, see what they're about. You got to see what their lifestyle is like. Men, I know you thought I was here to beat up on women, talk about single moms, right? But who is actually producing these single mothers? It's us as men. How are we doing it? The most way we doing it is with unprotected sex, with people that we know we don't have no interest in long-term relationship with. That is the way we're doing it the most. And we're destroying these children. We're destroying these children. Every once in a while, a child will squeak by and they'll come out and they'll say, yeah, I grew up with a single mom, but now I went to Harvard and I did this, I did that, every once in a while. But that's the 0.001%. Most of these children, they don't develop all the way because they don't have the other half of the situation, which is the father. He ain't in the situation. See, I know if I was like some of these other content creators and I was saying the black woman is the scum of the earth, she is the reason why we have um, all these single mothers. It'd be packed in here. I wouldn't have enough room here, but I got 5 people here because why? I'm telling the truth. Like Brother B Easy said, this is the truth chamber. So we just telling the truth. You come back on the playback, and if you have any doubts or any disagreement with anything I said, say it. So we got to Now this is us, me and you, Brother Daniel. We and other brothers that think like us. We got to come out here and we got to start teaching these young guys. Hey, bro, it's not the woman's fault that you're having sex. It's the fact that you choosing to have unprotected sex with someone you don't even consider as marriage material. That's what the issue is. And that's how come, because you being taught by the American society that having sex with lots of different women makes you a man. Right? You got platforms like Fresh and Fit. Don't even talk to me unless you have had sex with 30 women. Okay, I guess I won't be talking to you then. But some of our young men have such low self-esteem. They look at those guys and put them up on a pedestal. Them guys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. They selling courses. They selling all this stuff. You got guys like Lucario out there. They telling them, oh, you got to talk to 25 different women so you can get shot down 25 different times so you can get used to being shot down. Then you can start actually getting women. And you can have sex with all these different women. Ain't nobody telling them protect yourself or take the best option and court the person, vet them before you actually get out there and start trying to have sex with all these different people. Vet the people you having sex with. Men, young men. I know I was supposed to beat up on black women and say black women is the reason why, do we have all these single mothers? No, because they can't get their own self pregnant. They don't have the live germ. You have the live germ. You have the live germ. You took a egg out of the woman and you put it on a flask, you will see no motion. If you take a sperm and put it on the flask and look at it under the microscope, you'll see all types of motion. You'll see motion. That movement has to fertilize that egg, for there to be any movement in that egg. So don't tell me. I already know what I'm talking about. Petway boy, manhood is determined by a woman. It's determined by your character and integrity, right? The woman should tell the guy to use the condom before the sex. If not, then we ain't doing none. Both strap up. It should be like that, Petway boy, but unfortunately, it's not. It's not. The woman is so happy to have a man on deck, man. She don't tell the man nothing. Some of these women have been Americanized, where sex is the number one goal, right? Before, when we come from where I come, where I'm assuming that you black, Petway boy, but you might not be. But I'm gonna tell you about us as black people. We come from a place where sex ain't the important thing. The important thing is the value of the person and the person. And if you and the other person can connect and make good things happen, that's the most important thing. But in America, the most important thing is the reverse. The most important thing is sex. Why? Because the people have so many different ways of removing the responsibility. I thought that way, Petway boy. But I'm just, I never like to assume anything, brother. I never like to assume anything. But I felt that way just on GP. Anyway, yeah, the American society has so many different ways, just like the Romans, just like the Greeks. There are so many different ways of taking the responsibility out of sex, right? Sex and responsibility, they go together. They're together. And you see them walking down the street, you see one walking down the street, you see the other one walking with them. They arm in arm walking down the street, except in America. Except in America. In America, they let sex walk down the street by themselves. And responsibility, they always kidnapping and pulling him off of sex. So there's many different ways to run from the responsibility of a new live birth, right? Baby murder, after next day baby murder pill. What else is it? Adoption, and any other way you can think of to just escape the responsibility. Condoms, the pulling out method. I mean, it's all kind of different ways to try to escape the responsibility of a live birth, right? A live birth is going to that means you're going to have 18 years of responsibility for that live birth. Many people in America don't want that. They want the sex, not the live birth, like the Romans did. Well, what did the Romans and the Greeks do? Well, one of the Romans and the Greeks, the way they cut down on the responsibility of live births is they came up with pedophilia, right? If you're being sexual with children, probably the chances of live births going to go way down. Way down. I mean, in the 90s and 95, 98%, way down. Unlikelihood of you having a child with a child. And that's heterosexual pedophilia. When we go into homosexual pedophilia, the chances reduce to zero. They go down to zero or 100% that there will be nothing is transferred because there's no transfer, right? There's no transfer of live germ to incubation. They came up with not only pedophilia, but they came up with bestiality, where they would go out and have sexual exploits with animals. I'm just talking facts. I mean, if I'm saying something that's not factual, somebody come up here and tell me, or you go talk to your favorite YouTuber. Go tell your favorite YouTuber, hey, Brother Clarence said something crazy. Can you go check him out on it? I don't have no problem with it. I don't have no problem with people challenging me. You just better be right. You just better be right. Because if you're not right, I'm going to let you know you're not right. They also came up with a third way called homosexuality. That's the most decent way that they came up with was homosexuality, because at least homosexuality goes on the notion that you're dealing with two adults. You're dealing with two people that can actually make a decision. An animal can't make a decision whether it's going to have sex with you, and a child can't give you consent. But at least a grown person can give you consent whether they want to have sex with you or not. And if you have sex with a person of the same gender, then there will be no transfer. The transfer will not be made, and there won't be no transfer. And therefore, no fertilization can occur because you can't transfer anything, right? A female orgasm is simply for show. It has no useful function other than for show. Male orgasm has a useful function. There's a transfer going on there. Transferring the live germ to the person who has this dormant germ, and then once the explosion happens, once the sperm gets into the egg and the explosion happens and the dormant germ becomes alive now because the live germ gave it life. Now you got something. But the female orgasm, it's trivial. It's trivial. The female orgasm is for, it's just for measurement of excitement. It has nothing to do, it cannot produce anything. The female orgasm cannot produce anything. We just getting our math together. So if I got the live germ, who's the most responsible in this situation? Who has the more to offer and who has more to protect and who has more to provide for? Me, because I'm giving up the live germ. My woman, my female partner, she's the hibernator, or the person that's carrying the seed until it germinates to its full germination. But she ain't in a condition where she can go out and fight bears and wolves and stuff. Typically, no. So who's got to do all that stuff? Me. I got to provide for her because she's in a state of incubation. And I don't want nothing to happen to that incubator. Mr. Farrakhan said a woman with a baby in her stomach is like an oven with a cake in it. You can't bang around the oven and make a lot of noise. You're going to mess the cake up. Same thing with a woman. You can't put a lot of stress on her and all this. You got to be providing and protecting her in that incubation, in that incubational state. Yeah, but Claire, she got a black belt and she's a lawyer and she did. That don't mean nothing when she's in the incubation state. It doesn't mean nothing, brother. She's incubating your child. She's incubating your seed. And guess what? Let me tell you something else. She got to walk past death to bring that seed out. She got to walk past death. Let me tell you something. When you gave her that seed, did you have to walk through death? You ain't got to do nothing but give her the seed. But now she got to carry your seed. She got to get it up to full germination, and then she got to come to the day where she's got to walk past death to get that baby here. And that's all. And for that moment in time, her mind is on the track of, I got to get this baby alive out of me. She ain't even think about herself. That you gonna tell me that don't deserve your protection and provision? That don't deserve that? When have you walked past death, brother? When you had so much pain in your body? When have you had so much pain in your body that it literally drove you almost insane? See, I tell people, like, man, you don't know what pain like that is like, man. You have no idea. You have no clue. You have no clue. I've been through a little pain like that, but I have no clue of what it's like to have a baby. But that's not my fault. True indeed, I don't know that. But God doesn't want me to know that because I'm not a female. God wants me to know my role. My role is, if I impregnate this person, I need to protect her. I need to provide for her. She can't hunt for herself. We live in a more civilized society now, so she can still go to the store and stuff like that. But let's put it on a survival skill. She can't hunt. She can't She can't scare away predators. She can't protect herself. Somebody jump out of the trees to try to jump on her. She can't run her top speed. Not the average woman. She can't run her top speed with 4-5 month pregnancy. But brother, that's what you're supposed to be. If you have impregnated a woman, you're supposed to be there. She ain't. Excuses, man. It's excuses. That's why, like I said, if you wasn't here in the beginning, like I said before, every live birth you have from this day forward, you demand a DNA test. But this is my wife. I don't care, brother. I don't care. You demand a DNA test. You demand it. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. Sometimes we pick women that are not, they have not had, they need counseling. They need professional help, and they haven't received it. They haven't received that professional help. So they look like they're okay on the surface. They look like a well-ordered person, but they're not. Once you start spending more time with them, you start realizing, wait a minute, that don't make no sense what you're talking about right there. But see, the goal of a lot of these women, it's like I was talking to this lady, Mahogany Pink. Goal of a lot of these women is to just manipulate you into relationships, no matter how poor of a personality or how bad of a person they are. The goal is just to manipulate you into accepting how bad of a personality they have. And then that way, you on the hook for taking care of them. Right? The Brittany Renners of the world. Right? That's what you should be avoiding. That's why vetting is so important, man. Meeting the family, seeing how they respond. I remember one time I was dating this chick. And I probably went out with her maybe twice, right? So was some people that we went to school with was having a party. And so they was having a party, and so they invited her to go. And so she said, hey man, come on, let's go to this party. So I said, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll be there after I get off of work. She lived right around the corner from me, so she was already there when I got there. But I get there, right? And so the mother of the person that was actually having the party said, oh, you are you hungry? I said, yeah. I mean, I just walked in the door. You know how black ladies do. Old school black ladies, first thing they ask you, you hungry? Right? As soon as you get there, they said, you hungry? I was like, yeah, I'm hungry. I just got here. I'm hungry. So what she did was she looked at the girl I was with, because she knew I was with her, because they told her to expect me. So she knew I was with her, and she said, he's hungry. Now, right now, so old school women, they just say, hey, this your man, right? Go fix him a plate. Well, the sister said, he know how to fix his own plate, and she handed me a plate. The mother was looking like, I don't know how long this gonna last. I don't know how long this gonna last. And she was right. It didn't last too much longer after that. But once you see how somebody is, then you could say, oh man, this is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Anyway, I think I went over everything. Y'all tell me if I skipped something. I went over why we have so many single moms in our community, right? I went over that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Brother D. Sure. Give me about a half an hour after I shut it down, Brother D. I got some chicken breasts over here I'm gonna knock out real quick. So let me get to that, man. Call me about a half hour after that, Brother D, if you're available. But I'm always available for you, sir. Um, yeah, so I think I went over how how why we have so many single moms. Well, obviously we have so many single moms because the men are not looking at wifing up these women. They're just looking at having sex, right? That's the reason why they're having women. You having unprotected sex with women you don't look at as wife material. So you're impregnating them, but you're not staying with them. So that's why we have so many single moms, in my opinion, in our community. And what can be done to fix it? What can be done to fix it is we got to start vetting these women better. We got to start vetting these women better, man. These women are, like Sister G was telling me, a lot of them got problems. A lot of them have serious issues from being assaulted, molested, whatever, and they got serious issues. And we got to be sensitive to that so that we can say, hey, we got to separate the cream from everything else. If you have women that have these issues, then maybe jumping into a relationship or jumping into bed with them ain't such a good idea, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a Brittany Renner situation, right? And you have, okay, that's one baby mama. Let's say you have 2 or 3 baby mothers, 3 or 4, right? They bankrupted Sean Kemp, bankrupted the man. He had 11 children. They bankrupted. You can imagine 8 or 9, 10, 11 women taking you to court every year saying, I need more child support. I need more child support. I mean, one woman is enough, let alone 10. Man, it ain't never going to happen. It's never going to get good in that situation, man. It's never going to get good. So we talked about why do we have so many single moms? We talked about what can be done to fix it. Yeah, better vetting of the women. Better, before you start having sex with a woman, you need to say, what if I had to make this woman my wife? Would that be okay? If not, get up, pull your pants up, get up and get out of there. Stop having unprotected sex with women that you have not vetted. You go out with somebody on the first date, and on the first date they want to have sex with you. No, man, no. Then they call you a punk because they say, what you scared of? What you scared of? If a woman tell you you're a punk because you don't want to have sex with her on the first date, that should tell you something about that woman. That should tell you she used to do is going all the way up and through her, whether they know her or not. And that should tell you about her decision making. Her decision making ain't too good. Who you following through this woman? Your sex should be your sex should be the last thing the woman get from you. That should be the last thing they get from you. But you know what? Y'all want sex to be the first thing they get from you. Then you want her all caught up on the sex, and then when she's all caught up on the sex, you mad because she keep calling you and calling you and calling you and calling you, and then you like, damn, she won't leave me alone. Well, you don't want to decide to have sex with her. You want to exchange energies like that. You want your souls to connect. Every time you have sex with somebody, your souls connect. Whether you want to accept it or not, that's the reality of the situation. So the bottom line to it is this. The only way we're going to fix this single mother situation is if we can get the men. We can get the men to slow it down, because women can't impregnate themselves. So we got to get the men to slow down. We got to get the men to slow down. Brother Scorpion, what's going on with you, bro? Good afternoon, bro. Good afternoon, Brother Clarence. Yeah, Brother Scorpion, good to see you in the building, man. We got a few more minutes, and then we're going to probably shut it down, brother. Yeah, so, yeah, we got to get the black men to start understanding that they are the one controlling this baby mama situation. I know that most of them think of it in the reverse, right? They think that the women are in control of the baby mama situation. No, they say women control access to sex. Absolutely not. That is not true. That is true in most situations, but that was not true. Got you, brother Scorpion. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Women do not control access to sex. They control the perception of access to sex. You control access to everything, bro. You have the live germ. What? Brother Clarence, don't you know that Kevin Samuel said you women control access to sex? There's no going against what Kevin Samuel said. I've done it before, and I have to do it again in this instant. Women control the perception of access to sex. They don't control access to sex. Not at all. But because we as men perceive they do, we operate off of that perception. So we think we got to take them to a $300 dinner, $200 dinner here, all over the place. We think we got to do all that to get sex. When you can take her to get a cookie and a hamburger, and you could get the same sex, probably get better sex for her. Right? I told y'all this is how people think, their perception. I told y'all about my granddaughter. I'll take my granddaughter. Every time I came in the house, I had a toy for her. Almost every time. So it got to the point where she was like, "You have something for me? You have a surprise for me?" So I was like, "Yeah, I got." And then my wife pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, bro, what you're doing is you setting her up for a bad situation. You don't want her to get like that. So I know you want to do for her, but you're gonna do more for her not coming in with something every time." So at first I was like, "What you talking about? This is my baby. I'm gonna do for my baby, right?" But then I thought about it. I said, she's right. She's right. So now I start coming in with nothing. You have something for me? You have something for me? No, I don't, sweetheart. I don't. I didn't have anything this time. Oh, okay. And so I'm coming in, right? But you know what I noticed? It didn't matter. It didn't matter. She still would hug me, still kiss me, still, I miss you, Papa. She treat me exactly the same as if I came in with a 100-carat diamond ring, or if I came in with bubble gum, or if I came in empty-handed. She treated me the same way. She treated me the same way. I'm telling you, it's like that the same with these women. See, my perception was I got to bring her something to make her smile. But what I realized, it wasn't the stuff I was bringing her making her smile. It was me that was making her smile. It was me. And she'll smile whether I bring something or not. That's the way sex is with these women. If they want to get down with you, man, they're going to want to get down with you whether you bought them a hamburger or not. That's one thing y'all don't realize as men. You don't realize that. These women ain't controlling no sex. Oh, he went against the Kevin Samuels commandments. No, I'm not going against. I like Kevin. I mean, and he's on point most of the time. But on this one, I got to disagree. Women do not control sex. They control the perception of access to sex. You, as the man, control everything. Let me tell you something, brother. If a woman wants to get down with you, I don't care if you got a quarter in your pocket, brother. She is going to get down with you. That's facts. That's facts. So it don't matter what you got going on. Only thing that matters is, are you a solid dude? Because most women don't want to have sex with dudes that's not solid. You be a solid dude. What's it mean, a solid dude? I mean, you be a dude, you stand on your square. A woman respect that. That's all she needs to respect is you stand on your square. That's enough for her to say, to make a decision. You know what? I can rock with a dude like this. I can't rock with a dude like that. Done. But see, you know what? Women are good, man, because they're able to play the role like, oh, well, I don't want to have sex with you until these series of events happen. You take me out on these expensive dates, or you buy me this luxury item, or you do something to show me that I'm more valuable than any other person in your life. And you just met this person. How you gonna show them that they're more valuable? You gotta spend years with somebody to show them they're more valuable than any other person in your life. But some of these women want you to do that up front. Don't go for the okie doke. Don't go for the okie doke. Take it from an old pro. If a woman wants to have sex with you, she already knows if she wants to have sex with you or not. It's just the circumstance under which it's going to happen. That's the only thing that's going to play itself out. There's nothing you're going to do to convince her, to get her on your team. There's nothing you're going to do. Either she wants to have sex with you or she don't. Now, I will admit, having lots of access to lots of money makes everything a lot easier, makes her make that decision a lot quicker. But I don't care if you got a pocket full of money, man. If she don't want to have sex with you, ain't nothing you're going to be able to do to make her have sex with you, man. But we get caught up in our heads thinking that these women, oh, man, I got to be on my best behavior because if I don't, this woman ain't going to have sex with you. So what? How many women, billions of women there are out here? Go vet another one and find another one and determine whether they're a good fit for you before you do all of that stuff anyway. But as far as a woman controlling sex, I wish a woman would tell me, oh, you can't have sex with me. So what? So what? I'll go find somebody who will have sex with me. Ain't no big deal. You understand, bro, Clarence? You ain't out here, man. It's hard out here trying to get these women to have sex with you. No, it ain't. Your perception is it's hard out here. That's your perception. It's the way you're thinking about it. If you think about it like a gangster, it doesn't matter what you do. It don't matter what you do. I'm going to be the one to decide whether we have sex or not. Me. That's my decision. I'm like, I'm like Sugar Free. I'd rather spend my money on you than have sex with you. I'd rather spend money on you than have sex with you. When I have sex, that's a real commitment. Me dropping money on you, that ain't nothing to me. But that's me. That's how I look at it. I don't never look at no woman like, oh man, she gonna decide whether we gonna have sex or not. No, bro. I'm old enough to know already. A woman has already decided whether she's gonna have sex with you or not. Now, is she gonna give you that information? You don't know yet. There's little things you can do to try to ascertain that information by her behavior. But as far as her telling you what's exactly gonna happen, she probably won't. Why? Because that is the part of the game they can control. Perception. Women control perception. That's it. They don't control nothing else in dating. They control perception. It's just like I did that article when we first got started, where the white boy reached out to the brother that's playing football and made him think that she was a girl. He was a girl. It was perception. That's all. That person controls perception. There ain't nothing you can do. I mean, we talking between two reasonable adults. We're not talking about somebody trying to violate somebody. We're just talking about between two reasonable adults. There ain't nothing you're going to do to convince a woman to have sex with you. Either she already knows she's going to do it or not. Whether you got $1 million in your pocket or whether you got a quarter in your pocket. Okay, I went against the Kevin Samuels statement. I went against all of these other content creators' statement. Go get them, tell them to come meet me here, and let's talk about it. And let them prove what I'm saying is wrong. Go get Kevin Samuels. I love that guy. I'm a subscriber. But on this one, I disagree with him on that one. Women are good at controlling your perceptions, brother. They get they go, let me see. I got a Scorpion Arizel, brother Scorp. You're a drop of wisdom. You remind me of Elder Bob. Oh, thank you, brother. I'm just trying to drop this knowledge on these young cats, brother Scorp, because you know what? If I on a replay, one of these young dudes might see this thing 2 years, 5 years from now, and I want them to be able to go back and binge off my stuff and see it was a straight line of information all the time, and I have people rocking with me that was rocking for the truth. They see you in by this time in 5 years, brother Scorp, you might have your own channel, right? And they see that you was down with me. They say, "Oh, he's off. He fell off that tree. He's good." Brother Daniel, he fell off that tree. He's good. Brother Petway fell off that tree. Petway boy fell off that tree. He's good. See, I want us to be on a straight line. So these guys say, man, this dude was telling the truth. He was telling the truth. But I appreciate you, brother Scorp. Thank you for that, man. Yeah, man. That's just real talk. Now, I'm like I always say, man. Like I do it like Mr. Fark. I say, go get your best Negro that you trust the most, and that and I said something against what he said. Bring him here. Tell him to come meet me up here. Y'all know how I do it. I don't attack nobody personally. I don't attack their family. I attack their ideology. I attack their behavior. I don't attack them personally because I don't know them personally. I can't explain why they're doing what they're doing because I don't live with them. So it'll be a fair fight. I just disagree. Don't let these women make you think that, because when you let women let you think that you like they say, oh, women control sex, access to sex, and men control access to marriage. Men control it all. Men control it all. Man, you a man, right? Bruh Scorp, bruh Daniel, bruh D, bruh Petway. Y'all know you ain't gonna marry no woman unless you want to marry her, right? If you don't want to marry the woman, ain't no explaining a woman could do, right? If she don't fall into your realm of attractiveness, or she don't fall into your realm of behavior or attitude, there ain't no explaining, man. Ain't no amount of sex you can have with somebody that'll make you marry somebody that's out of alignment with what you want. Only the dumbest of the dumb would marry somebody like that. And we got guys that do that. Like Kanye West. He married Kim Kardashian. And I'm saying Kim Kardashian's a bad person, but she got a lot of bodies. And when you got a lot of bodies, your mentality is not always good. So she thought, if I give this man children, he will look at me in a different light than these other cats that was just running through me. And he did for a while. But like Sister G said, his mom was gone. He was looking for somebody to ride like his mama rode with him. Tax-free. But Kim was like, I can't be that person for you. So Kanye started that, if you can't be that person for me, even though you got all these bodies, then those bodies start wearing on the brother. I'm just saying. So what did I say, y'all? What did I say? I said women do not control access to sex. Forget that. Throw that out. Women control the perception of access to sex. That's what they control. What do you mean, Clarence? Well, Clarence, what you mean? If a woman ain't gonna let me have no sex, listen, man, let me tell you something. If you got to get to the point where you got to convince a woman to have sex with you, you're having sex with the wrong person. Oh, dropped another bomb on you. Bam. Dropped another bomb on you. Why in the world are you with a woman when you got to convince her to give you a kiss, give you a hug, and have sex with you? Why? When you open your arms, a woman should be coming straight to your arms within 2 or 3 seconds. I remember I went to shake a woman's hand one time, took her on a date. I went to shake a woman's hand. The woman slapped my hand out the way and hugged me. I was trying to be respectful to her, right? little did I know, she was feeding for me the whole time. I mean, I find all this out later, but I mean, just saying. So if a woman really wants to have sex with you, there ain't nothing you can do. Well, there's some things you could do to make it not happen. But I'm talking about a reasonable adult woman. If she wants to have sex with you, you ain't gonna have to do no convincing or nothing. You don't have to do none of that. Now, the only thing that might be an issue is the circumstances. She might want it to happen under a certain set of circumstances, but that may not be her trying to keep it from you. That may be just her saying, in my mind, I'll be freer to have sex with you under a certain set of circumstances. Okay, that may be the issue. But even under those circumstances, guess what? You got to unzip your pants for anything to happen. And like I said, some of these women out here, man, they so thirsty, bro. It don't matter if you got $1, 10 cents, a walnut in your pocket. It don't matter what you got. They're going to bump and grind you just like they would bump and grind Sean Combs. Right? Drake or one of these other dudes. So don't even trip. Don't even trip. So how can you use this? Okay, y'all. I know I keep talking because I keep getting this up, but I promise you, give me 10 more minutes and I'm gonna shut it down. How can you use this information to your advancement, for your advancement, men especially? How can you use this information for your advancement? Well, now you know that a woman already knows whether she's gonna have sex with you or not. Now you know that already. There's little things you can see from her behavior, whether she's open to just, I mean, women that want to have sex with you, they want to close the gap. There's a gap that people want, that they will, like a female wants to maintain this gap. If she don't know you, she wants this gap there, so just for her own protection. Yeah, you talking nice, you smelling good and all of that, but she don't know you. She don't know you yet. So there's going to be a gap, a space. She wants a reasonable distance in case she got to sprint and run from you, right? But as she gets more comfortable with you, she will close that space. That's one way you can tell whether, okay, she's getting comfortable with me or whatever. Because she may have already decided, yeah, I will have sex with this dude, but I don't know him. And I can't just have sex with him right now because I don't know this man. This man might try to kill me because I did something that nobody else did for him. And he might just go bananas, right? It's happened. Got to think like these women think. So sometimes they think like that. But trust me, they already made their mind up whether they're going to have sex with you. Whether you're just going to be the dinner man, whether you're just going to be the nail man, whether you're going to be the hair man, whether you're going to be, they've already made their mind up. And it's going to be very difficult for you to switch roles. Right? So how can you use what I just told you? Okay, you go out with a woman. Let's say you go out with a woman. You've been out with her twice. But she don't want to. She's not closing this gap. She's not closing the gap between you and her, right? I'm not saying she got to be all on you, but little by little, she should be closing this gap. Little by little, she should feel more comfortable in closing the gap, sitting closer to you. When you first meet her, of course she's gonna be sitting far away from you because she don't know you, brother. She want to have enough space to protect herself in case something go up, in case you do something ridiculous. I'm just giving you a hint. This is how you can tell if a woman is getting to a better place with you because they'll start closing the gap. They, not you. See, men, you think you got to take charge. I'm going to take charge. No, you only take charge when you get the green light. The green light is, I'm ready to have sex. That's when you take charge, brother. That's when you take charge. You don't take charge no other time. You let her walk you into the bedroom. Let her walk you in there. That is confirmed consent when she walked you into the bedroom. But some of y'all dudes are so messed up in the head. You think I'm gonna rush her. I'm gonna rush her decision-making process. Who makes good decisions when they rush? I'm telling you, brother, those of you that listen to me, gonna change your life. Because I've already made all these mistakes for you already. I've already made I can see all these bumps on my head. See all those bumps? I already got all these bumps already. Ain't no reason for you guys to go out and get more bumps on your head when I got all the bumps you need. Me and Brother Daniel, we got bumps on our heads. Old guys like us, we got bumps on our head, man. We already know already. We can tell you what not to do. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all go to y'all YouTubers and y'all tell me what y'all think. Anyway, thank you for listening, family. I appreciate y'all showing up on a Sunday afternoon on what is this called? Halloween, where we in America celebrate the evil of European our European invaders and kidnappers. We celebrate the wickedness that the best of their wickedness that their mind could conjure up. We celebrate it on this day, right? We dress our children up like that to the best of theirs, and I'm just saying the truth, right? We got to learn how to avoid stuff like that, family. But anyway, I understand some of us have children that we got to take out there to participate in stuff like that. So I understand, brother. We all caught up in something. Brother Scorp, when the next time you're going live on YouTube, it'll probably either be Tuesday, Thursday, or Sunday. Always, man. If you look at my page, we always come on Sunday at 11:45. That's my regular time. But sometimes I'll throw in a Tuesday. Sometimes I'll throw in a Thursday. So it'll probably be either Tuesday or Thursday, brother. Just click the notification so you'll see when I'm on, and then you could jump on, because like I said, sometimes I'll put out a promo, and then so like this week I didn't get a chance to put a promo because I was trying to get this thing straight between Anton, Daryl, Kings, and Rilla. I was trying to get that situation together, and so I was busy working with that situation. But like I said, bro, Scorp, just hit the notification, man, and it'll let you know when I'm going to go active. If I get a promo out, I'll get a promo out. But usually I just hit it. Bro, Scorp, thanks, bro, Clan. You're welcome, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for asking, man. Appreciate you for asking. Anyway, y'all, like I said, I didn't even get a chance to get to the old school hit today because I just didn't have a chance. Yesterday. I did that thing trying to get Chicago Rilla to come on, and if he's out there, he's always welcome to come on. I'll talk to him whenever, but he already told Daryl, no, I don't want to talk to Brother Clarence right now. Cool, no problem. I get it, no problem, because really he and I didn't have no beef. He and I didn't have no smoke anyway, so I don't. But maybe he wanted, like Brother Willie was saying, he just wanted to me to mediate the situation, which was cool, no problem. I'll do it whenever they want to do it, because I got a feeling that situation is going to develop into something else where I have to step in there. Anyway, y'all, have the good rest of y'all Sunday, and don't forget to always take care of your business, take care of your family, spend time with your family, man. You never know when your family is not going to be there, man. So spend time with your family. Today, the rest of Sunday, man. Those of you that got your mama's still alive. Unfortunately, my mother's not alive. If you get off of this thing, go call your mama and tell your mama, I'm just checking in with you. Just let you know I love you. just tell. I lost my mom about 3 years ago, and that was a heavy hit for me, because she was talking about somebody on my team. Sister G, you think you on my team? My mother would have gave you a run for your money, Sister G. She would have gave you a run for your money. She used to give my wife a run for her money. Oh man, but I love all of y'all, man. I appreciate all of y'all. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna close the broadcast down. Y'all can go check out. Before I close it down, let me tell y'all who's on right now. Let me share with y'all who's on right now, so y'all could get y'all who's on right now. Conversation Kings on right now. I thought the lead attorney was on. I guess he's not on right now. Yeah, the only people I see right now that's on from our little circle here is Conversation with Kings. That's who I see is on right now. Wait a minute, I got something saying the Culture Clinician is on. No, he's not on right now. So yeah, you guys go over there, check out Conversation with Kings, and I'll see y'all later. I might show up in an hour or so down there too. So anyway, I'll see y'all later until the next time. Peace.